The Ash Bond is instilled into the body and soul, taking on the traits of the individual's most dominant personality. But with the bonds being widespread among their definitions, people choose avenues of thought to latch onto. A grow bed for prejudice and preference, saying things like white bonds and red bonds get along well. If you're red bonded, stay clear of gold. They're trouble. This malignant ignorance is rampant and unending. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the tea house where tales are told. The hearth is roaring, and the tea is hot. The bird song blows in the wind, and eager minds open like blossoms. Thanks for listening, and without further ado, it's time to open up shop.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
like
everyone.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I sound like Mrs. Doubtfire there.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. I look forward to listening back on that later. We harmonized that beautifully.
Thank you for the lesson on racism through Ashfall colors.
No
Very,
problem.
very educational.
I believe
figured-
based on
bias.
those biases, I'm pretty sure JoJo's not supposed to get along with Vincent or Matilda based on our Ashbond colors.
Oh, you're green.
Yeah,
Green only likes green.
I think that was the thing. Yeah,
Wow.
me
Was it?
and Paka and what's his name, Jaeger forever.
No, in like 4
racist of
weeks
you.
you'll find out, I guess.
You'd like that. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Jaeger forever.
Jaeger forever. I need both
Bunch of
hands.
sickos.
My favorite
Like
parts of
Christy
D&D is just completely DM imposed relationships. Where I'm just like, oh, you can't stop thinking about him, and you're like, why? And I'm like, just putting that seed in there.
Yeah.
So they can blossom later.
Our last
Mm.
campaign
Or
over,
wither.
and I still think about my last wife. So
That wasn't forced upon you.
To be
though.
fair, you had the coolest wife ever.
yes, she was so cool. I miss her.
Last time, the family continued into the village, and after some harrowing battles, found a safe house and a hidden chest containing an imp named Margaret. Vincent and Matilda drafted up a contract and entered into an agreement with Margaret in exchange for safety and passage out of the dungeon, and they took on a new name, Mo. Mo describes that his previous master, Schlader Krom, went on without him into the dungeon and is currently MIA. The Deviants continue into the dungeon with Mo and through the village, where the villagers are beginning their descent through the city streets. As the sun sets, they find brief safety and take this time to travel through. They unlock the gates from the gatehouse across town, traverse the western gatehouse and into the town square, where they sneak past a pair of monstrous noble lord and lady, stumbling upon the rubble of what was once a grand cathedral to a lost moon goddess. And as the moonlight sweeps across the cathedral, a spectral knight appears before them, standing at 12 feet tall and wielding an 8-foot ornamental crescent moon greatsword, the gleaming blade. The knight strikes an intimidating presence in glittering full-plate mail, shining a pale blue in the moonlight. As Jojo examines the knight's appearance, it turns its attention towards her, and as its eyes roar to life with blue flame, prepares to attack. Roll initiative.
Ah!
So what I took
Mine-
from that intro was that the sword is purely ornamental.
Yes. As soon as it attacks
Clearly.
you, it's going to crumble. At least you can assume that.
Good.
I am hiding. Where is a good place to do that?
Ooh, I was hoping for a better initiative. That's okay.
Where's Vincent? I mean, where's
Let me throw Blade Beak in here as well. Oop.
I was gonna
What the-
say the
Taka has
and
50.
Mo need to be in there.
Where's Jojo?
JoJo is over here. I don't think you can see her because she's not in the light.
Yeah,
Humans.
there's a lot of darkness in here. It seems.
I think you can see me in the stream screen. Ah.
In the Steam stream. In the Scream Steam. Ah!
Yeah. Oh, is it so hard?
Welcome to the real world. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. As the
Damn.
piano music begins to well up before you, you also begin to hear the sound of war, the clashing of blades. The air around you grows stiff and dry. The scent of iron begins to permeate your senses with the appearance of the night. I heard a DM.
I did. Would I have more vision because I would have went up and looked at the painting, or is it just because I'm human and I have sucky eyes?
I don't recall there being a painting.
It was the statue.
Statue.
There was
The statue?
the
Okay.
angel
You would have
was
started up here. Also, we can give a quick moment to reposition to where you guys believe you would have been in this area. And then you guys will get a surprise round on the creature who is basically slowly appearing right now.
Summoning sickness.
Yeah. He's tapped.
I'm not able to move myself, Adrian, so I will give you directions.
Please and thank you. I will begin from the top.
okay,
Paka
continue.
remains where he is. He is currently sitting on this little pew. Killian
Oh, Bianca.
and Bladebeak.
We're first in initiative?
No, I'm just asking where you would like to have been.
Oh, that's right where I want to be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Matilda. I believe you did start right up next to the statue, right? Oh,
we
I
cannot
can't hear you.
I would have said that I was hiding. So, is there any way that I can go like back, like behind Bladebeak by the entrance there?
So we're beginning this like reposition phase to where you believe you were the moment you noticed the knight was appearing, and then you
Okay.
guys will get a surprise round, and that will be like where you run and hide.
Okay, that's cool. Sounds good. Thank you. I understand now.
Sweet. Jojo, you were for sure right up next to here,
Yeah.
and we're examining the plinth. And Vincent, where do you think you were?
You'd probably be at the back. You probably would have just been like leaning up against like a pillar.
Whenever I'm like, what was Vincent doing? I always picture him giving like just the
He's always
backwards
leaning
lean
against the
something.
wall.
He's just too fucking cool to use
Just
gravity.
Flicking
like,
a
you know.
coin up and down.
Yeah.
And like his idle animation, I either picture him like flicking up a coin up and down, or like manicuring his nails, like filing
Yes.
They're
his
just
nails.
Yes.
pulling a single
yeah.
string on their lute.
Boom. And everyone's like, God damn, that string sounds good.
I
What's
also
that,
have, like,
phase 16
Paka over
performance?
here.
Damn.
Paka over here on the pew with his legs dangling, being like, I'm in danger.
That's pretty much what happened the moment it appeared. We will actually go ahead and jump in here now as we all find ourselves staring towards this night that is slowly appearing as the moonlight creeps ever so slightly beyond. It moves a little bit more in towards the top, and Paka stands up, looks on towards all of this, and says, "Nope,"
Yeah.
and moves to the other side of this doorway and takes the hide action.
Can I give Paka an instruction as he's
You
running
absolutely
away?
may.
Paka, can you pass Mo one of the oil flasks you have?
Paka then climbs up the top of the doorway and kind of just like you just see a little green hand with an oil flask, and Mo scoops it up and looks towards you and says, "What am I to do with this, master?"
Go invisible and maybe dump it on him.
He nods and says, "Soon." Closes his eyes and you see wind begin to pick up around him.
Can I say something out
You may.
like, in character real quick? If we can block the moonlight from touching this before it shows up completely, I think we might be able to stop him conjuring if you guys still don't want to do this.
Is there any plausible way of doing that? Like
Darkness
if you look
spell?
up,
Darkness spells possible, that might work.
I don't think any of us have that capability.
Nope. Just saying.
I'm just wondering how big the hole is. Like, do we have?
It is a basic. The roof is gone. The back wall is the only one of this cathedral that is standing. The walls are all just in pure disarray, and beyond the area, you can just see straight through into the courtyard.
A big
So-
blanket.
Yeah, well, if the roof is gone, like it's gonna be, you need something very large or some sort of radius around him to block the light.
Best case scenario would just be cover the plinth, I think is what JoJo's getting at.
Yeah. We have
But
like, Vincent has a tent, but I don't even know if it'd be big enough.
at this point, the knight appears in full, and you see the gleaming plate armor and the massive form. You actually see kind of like almost hovering off the ground ever so slightly, holding the blade. The entire body appears, the eyes roar with blue flame, and as it turns its attention towards JoJo and prepares to just go for this vicious
Okay.
side swing, the entire body just gains gravity for one moment and just but continues to hover just above the ground, feet slightly dangling
Oh, that's
as
so
they
rad.
appear in full.
I feel
With
like they
them,
can fly,
the
or
light
was
from
it-
the great sword
Ooh.
begins to illuminate, shining out a pale moonlight across you all. Everybody who is currently within this radius, I need to roll a wisdom saving throw. It's 30, please.
Oh.
Vincent, Mo, and Paka, you are good. Everybody else, wisdom save, please.
Okay,
All right.
Matilda, you can do it. I believe in you. My little
I
spooky
believe in
bitch.
I believe in a
you.
thing called wisdom.
I believe in a
This
thing
little
called
thing
moon.
I've
I'm pretty sure that it exists. When I look up to the sky, I'm pretty sure that's the moon.
Hey!
Ooh.
He's
Not a
roastable.
0.
Nothing
The
happens to
darkness
y'all.
saved me.
I don't think you can get a 0.
You
As
can.
the moonlight pours over all of you. Ooh, thank you, Killian.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you, Killian.
Do you
As
have
the
to
moonlight
roll
pours
one
over
for,
all of you,
for your mount.
Yeah.
a Bladebeak does need one. This one.
Let me go ahead and roll that.
Ooh, I'm happy.
Well, you're a pair in a pod.
The two of you are. Pardon me. Let me go ahead and find this. Paralyzed. As the light pours over the two of you, it hits your eyes and your entire body just locks up for a brief moment as the night appears in full. Massive greatsword, like just hovering above the head, kind of just covering the back of the mask. The just pure malice and regret and this just constant stream of emotions that pours through you just strikes you immediately, and you find yourself just momentarily hesitating as they appear. However, they are surprised. And then Killian, it is your turn. You are currently paralyzed. You can roll a one more. Actually, at the end of your turn, it just ends. So unfortunately, you are currently here.
Yep. that's fine.
Bladebeak is also paralyzed, but that ends. Actually, Bladebeak cannot be paralyzed, right? Immune to the
Let me double
condition?
check. No, he can be paralyzed. He can't be charmed, exhausted, or poisoned.
Here's what I will say, and this is going to drive a lot of RP in the future. Does Bladebeak have emotions?
I want to say no. Like, I feel like it's
Okay.
a pretty bland creature. Like it takes commands. When it's not commanded, it just kind of sits there and like tries not to get hit. Like, I don't. Let me double check. Let me just double check the wording.
I'm gonna
'cause,
check
like,
the stat block and see if it has condition immunities, emotions.
So,
Yeah.
Bladebeak has no eyebrows, basically.
Yeah.
I take
well,
offense to that.
It still has. It still shows intent on its face through its like little spinny eyes with like the little X-shaped like.
The more characteristics you give this thing, the more I love it. Please stop.
I just imagined it going unconscious and the eyes just switching to like the perfect like X
X's.
symbol. He's like, ugh.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like those stupid like little iPod dogs used to have that used to like dance when you plugged your iPod
Oh,
in, and it had like the lights.
That's two very dangerous words to say online.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
Yeah, dog and X. I think both of those are pretty
My
evil.
apologies.
No, I'm just kidding. Please don't hate me. I love dogs so very much.
I don't know. It doesn't. It just says it obeys your commands.
No, I'm
It
totally.
doesn't
This
say
is
that it's
this one
emotional.
100% is your choice.
I think.
Um,
I think. With the current state of Bladebeak, I don't think I've programmed any emotions into it.
You son of a bitch! Adding in those wonderful little clauses in this contract. Bladebeak is not currently paralyzed and can act, but you did not have a bonus action to give it.
Yeah.
So what does Bladebeak do here?
It just sits there and like dodges.
Begins
Just, like,
to weave
head
back
kind
and
of
forth.
swivels back and forth, in case something tries to hit it, and it'll try to dodge. Am I able to give it the dodge action?
No,
For
it
now,
has
while
no
we look into
emotions.
that until the beginning of the next. Yeah, it doesn't dodge, man. Until the beginning of the next turn, we will say it does currently have the dodge action.
Okay,
And then we will
yeah.
look into that in the interim.
Cool.
Matilda, you are up.
Okay.
You do not need to be like, I'm going to run and hide now, just because you said you wanted to before. But you can.
It can move on its own, so it is going to actually move up to Jojo.
Okay, so I can dash on my surprised action.
You have a full turn yet.
Okay.
The creatures are surprised.
5, 10, 20, 30. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm so used to us not having surprise actions, so like.
It's just like a free turn that the enemy can't.
As a condition on the creature.
It's not like a round or anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna go there, but on my way, I'm gonna be like, Vincent, do you think strength or dex would be best to make it be bad at? What do you
Vincent, with your passive insight, you assume that the fact that it's hovering above the ground means that its movement is likely, not super great. You can see that it doesn't look like the legs are incredibly powerful. However, the just brawn of the upper body seems to be the strongest trait. Strength is the way to go.
You could try using strength. There's no guarantee, but I think that's the best one.
Okay. And then
You also see that it's very self-conscious about its dexterity.
Stop skipping leg day, man.
All right, and I will end my turn with a plan.
Do you wish to hold an action?
She dashed to get there.
I dashed to get
right.
there.
Perfect.
So that there, and I can't really do very much of my bonus action. So unfortunate. Well, actually, hold on.
Hex is a bonus action.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. That's what I was gonna do. I am going to cast. Hold on, before I can't. Oh, I ended my turn by accident.
I can go back.
Sorry. Okay.
I won't, though. No, I'm going back. There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Much
I'm so
appreciated.
benevolent.
You are very benevolent. Oh my gosh, sorry.
No, that was great. That was a good way to give me what I want, but actually legally also have plausible deniability.
Alright, and I cast Hex on Big Bad.
Hex just
And-
occurs, yes?
Yes. And
Brilliant.
I want them to have the strength thing. Disadvantage on strength? What is it? Saves? Whatever?
It's ability checks and attack rolls.
No, it's not attack rolls. It's just ability checks.
Just ability checks. So
Just ability checks?
anything-
Wondrous.
No grappling for you.
You see this just necrotic aura begin to pour over the body for a brief moment as it's just surrounded by this energy that begins to sap its just pure raw body potential. Is that the end of your turn?
Mm-hmm. And it looks kind of necrotic, but also a little bit celestial, and it just looks like a big feather, like painting down the
And the knight's like swatting at it, but the hand just goes through and it continues just lathering this energy across it.
I imagine it just like across its like chin. It's like.
Stop it.
Oh yeah, I like
Stop
that.
that. Stop that right now.
It makes me think of someone doing like the whole like you're watching Disney thing with the weird wand.
Jojo, you were up. And Vincent, you were on deck.
Jojo claps her hands. She does like some somatic magic hand movements and claps her hands together as like the prismatic chaos lightning shoots down from her left arm into both hands, and she says Karos Raika, and she does her spell. She does a shocking grasp.
99% of the way there. Kerus Raika, and she does her spell.
She does her spell. I can only be serious for so long. Attack! And he's wearing full plate armor, which means it has advantage.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was made out of bamboo?
22, then I would not have advantage.
22 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's normal.
As
It
you
would
bring
be
this just
staticky bamboo.
What?
crackling energy in, you blast
Lightning?
through the body and just for a brief moment on the inside of the armor as the just electricity tears through. 2 points of damage.
Wow, that's weak.
Wow.
Did it though.
I did it.
No longer has any
Reaction.
reactions. And that you currently are standing here. The creature is just electrified for a brief moment before
Yeah.
turning its attention
I
back towards you.
Move back, but Killian's so close. I'm just gonna move over to the side of Bladebeak because I know that they moved there to help me, and then I'm gonna rage. Rage.
What is your like? What does the inception of your rage look like?
Let's find out.
The rage, it has been that she's just sort of like, it's usually like her breathing out very aggressively, and then the from her ash bond just with the chaos magic where it's like fire, lightning, globules, bubbles now apparently,
Lamps.
lava lamps, bubbles, just all this like crazy like forms of like shifting forms and colors. As the wild surge happens, one of those colors takes over.
You sound like
Hey.
a Sailor Moon character.
Where do you summon your flump?
Oh, my flump. My flump is going to appear right there. Yeah, that's good.
My prophecies.
Yep. Yes, so the chaos magic at her shoulder sort of like shatters and turns to like almost like fairy dust. and as like this flump appears over there, it too forms from like this fairy dust in the air. And as I end my turn, that shit explodes.
So I need you to roll Arcana for me. Because as you summon this flump, I want you to know about the creatures that you are causing to kill themselves in an explosive fashion.
Please, fail.
You failed.
Yes!
You know very little about flumps, unfortunately. As it appears, you see... It pops and just explodes in this this display of magical force. Go ahead and roll your 1d6 force damage.
Yes, it is 1d6 force damage. It makes a dexterity save. I don't know if it not being able to take reactions has any problem with that.
Has nothing to do with it.
Ah, dang.
Also, Adrian, just a note: Hex is an enchantment spell, so.
Thank you kindly. I will have you roll 1d100, Matilda. I'll keep my eye on that.
Sorry, I forgot. I didn't
It'd be good, right?
No, it's good.
So we have no idea what this could be. You could also de-age 10 years. So
A 50-year-old
Oh,
my god, freaking
what?
child.
99.
Oh my
99.
God.
That's almost the best of them. Here, one moment. Let me go ahead
Pretty
and catch
sure I
up with all
rolled a
of this.
98, and it
Dexterity
ended up
saving
giving
throw.
us like weakness to piercing, so I don't trust these dice.
There was one
It
time
does succeed on the saving throw, and is that no damage or half damage?
I believe it's no damage.
No damage. The flump.
That is such a weak ass turn. I did 2 damage.
But you summoned a
That's
flump,
fair.
and that's everything that matters. Matilda, a 1d100, you rolled a 99.
I will say I had this key one time in one game I was playing, and you could unlock any door, and you had to roll a d100 to see if you could do it. And I put it in a random house, and I rolled a 100, and I opened the door, and I was like, oh! And they're like, what the heck are you doing? And I was like, oh no! And I shut the door and left.
Matilda, you regain all of your expended sorcery points. Good job.
Oh man!
Beautiful.
Vincent, you are now up.
Cool.
Stupid.
Well, it's better than de-aging.
It's better
10
than
years
taking
or-
a bunch of damage. Or
Yeah. Nothing is a good thing in this case.
Yeah.
Vincent is gonna he has this coin in his hand. He's gonna flip it up in the air and catch it. He's gonna cast Detect Thoughts, which is not an enchantment spell. It shouldn't be.
I believe it's divination. Yeah.
He's gonna cast Detect Thoughts. No, I don't need my own wisdom saving throw. And just checking out the area, he wants to know if those creatures that were outside are seeing if they want to come back in or if there's any invisible creatures.
So here's the thing: as you cast Detect Thoughts within the radius, you detect Matilda's thoughts. You don't detect her thoughts, but you detect the presence of her as a thinking creature, and you also detect a 1,000-fold tone somewhere within this radius.
So there's an invisible creature. Do I figure out where it's coming from or not? That's not how the spell works.
I do not believe that's how it's spelled. But let me check.
The brief description at the bottom.
Previously, I had given you that even if you can't see the creatures, you can detect thoughts, because I personally, as a DM, enjoy that.
Well, you can. It says you can also use this spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see.
Yes, but I was talking about the actual thoughts of the creature.
There's
So
a
if
different
you choose to probe deeper, you can attempt to hear the thoughts of a creature who is not currently visible to you.
It's fine. It's a 1,000-fold tone. I don't think I need anything
Yeah.
more than it's just thought.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he'll notice that. He'll kind of look over towards Matilda and be like, "There's other creatures in here, so be careful." He's not yelling it out to the rest of the group, but just to Matilda for right now.
Yep.
And then it will not let me move sideways through this, so I have to take some extra movement. And I wish to go around. cover.
When we were hanging out with the other projections in the inn, did they have 1,000-fold tone in them too, or was it just nothing? I think it was
don't
nothing,
think that
right?
was detected.
No.
Vincent, you are now in cover. Before you were not. But is that the end of your turn?
I'm actually gonna go. Damn it. Keep fighting with walls. I wanted to go there.
Okay.
And with
That is not total cover. You have currently from the creature you have half cover, so you're aware.
Okay. I can't see him at all in my vision, so that's not a good way of detecting that. I'll take a step back then.
Total cover. And Paka's turn. Anybody want to give Paka anything? He could not hide before, so he's going to hide now.
Is he able to come over to where Vincent is to hide, or is he?
Sure.
Just so he's near one of us. And is he able to pass Vincent?
He can run a different way to get all the way here. He has to dash, so he cannot hand you a torch.
As an item interaction? I thought they could do that.
In order to, you basically need to give him the command to pull an item out of his bag and hand it to you.
Okay, I'll do that on the next turn then.
As basically, they're also like vacuums. If they run by, they can scoop up stuff on the ground for free. But as he's running through, he reaches into his bag and begins to ruffle through to grab a torch.
Our little Hoover.
Yeah, and as the as the creature appears in full, the weight of it begins to bear down. The light pours out. It looks on towards you, and with this just shock that is pouring through it,
Mo
that
didn't
now
get to
fades
go.
away. Mo was not in the initiative. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hoover
You
was
wanted
my
Mo
nickname in
to.
college.
Brilliant. So Mo would have held his action then.
I asked him
when-
to go invisible, so he would have had
This
to do
case, he
that
would
as
have had
his
the
first
lowest.
action.
Mo's. And then begins to move. So as he just disappears from your sight, he begins to move. He's holding a vial in his hand. Let me find the invisible. There we go.
Does the vial go invisible too, or is it just
Everything
like,
he is holding goes invisible.
Oh, okay, sorry. I just wanted to visual in my head.
And yeah, we tested this with a pencil or a pen before.
A pen.
And as Mo flies forward, disappears, Killian, you are... Nope. Oh, the creature was removed from the initiative mark. This was 22. There we go. Perfect. As the night appears before you, that music that has been pouring around you slowly begins to dissipate. It turns its attention in full towards the lot of you. Takes out the blade, holds it in place, and looks towards you, Jojo, for a brief moment. Pulls it back and just one swipe to the right, covers like straight through you. Continues to sweep, slashes directly through Bladebeak, and then flips around and once again carries through again in this sweeping motion through the both of you.
It has disadvantage. Oh wait, does it not attack roll?
This is an attack roll.
Okay. It has disadvantage against Bladebeak.
The dodge.
Disadvantage with a -5.
This is good music. It's making me anxious.
It's also Hex. Yes, Hex does not affect.
Doesn't
attacks.
affect this. It's just
These,
strength ability.
this sweeping blade strike through the both of you carries through. Jojo, you are hit by both. And you feel as the massive heft of the blade begins to carry through you, it hits the side of your body and just moves through. You feel for a brief moment as though you've been vivisected, but you can feel just the inside of your body as though it has been just lacerated from the inside. It carries through, hits Bladebeak, slashes directly through the metal. One natural 20, and then one miss due to the disadvantage on this attack. I'm sorry, no. That was
for
not a
Bladebeak?
flat -5. I'm going to roll one more dice for that.
Can Bladebeak deflect one of the attacks on Jojo since both hit?
Absolutely.
So it just has disadvantage on one of those attacks, I think.
One of them. That still hits. Bladebeak jumps in the way in order to attempt to block this damage, but that blade just continues directly through, almost ephemerally, almost ethereally through the two of their bodies. Jojo, that is 2 hits. Bladebeak, that is 1. Actually, no, Bladebeak is now 0 due to the disadvantage canceling out that 20. It brought it down. So, Jojo, you take... What is your hit point total? I can't hear you.
My max or my current?
Maximum.
55.
Okay. And current?
46.
46. You suffer 37 points of slashing damage, piercing damage.
Halved.
We have.
Okay. Let me give this one more go. You suffer
Okay.
15 points of slashing damage. And it was 37 total. And you suffer 17 points of radiant damage. No. Sorry.
Math is hard.
Yeah, the module I have that cuts all this up is just slightly strange. 22 points of radiant, 15 points of slashing.
Okay. 22 radiant, 15 slashing, 15 is halved.
No,
And the
I think
slashing
that's
is
already-
piercing.
And the slashing is piercing.
It's still halved.
Still halved.
So you take 7 points of piercing damage, 22
2. Yeah. You
points of radiant damage.
Holy shiza.
Bladebeak takes
29.
none. And then as the
I'm bloody.
the two attacks come through, the creature begins to lift itself up in the air. It carries itself up only about 5 feet. And the light that is currently just blasting out from it just begins to waver ever so slightly, kind of carrying through with this magical radiance. Killian, you're up.
Right?
I never saw any of that.
Could you put bloody on me?
Yes.
Killian watched that happen, saw the blade go through both of them, but only Jojo took harm. Killian is going to see if she has any spell slots. She does, which is great. Killian's just going to shout backwards because she doesn't see that anyone else is here, so they might not have seen it. Killian's just going to say, this thing hurts. Jojo's a little bit in trouble. She's still up, though. And then is just going to lock and load, shoot the thing, see if it can be harmed, because he couldn't tell if it got harmed by the lightning hands. All right, boom, bada bing boom, pow. Not great. That's probably a miss.
Bring your hunting rifle down. Let loose a shot. Ting! Bounces off the armor.
All right. Let's try Bladebeak. Force Empowered Rend. Hey, let's go.
Nice.
Nice.
Natural 20 for a 24. That hits. Go and roll damage. Critically hit.
Alright. 2d8 plus 2.
Oh, very good.
Oh my goodness. Almost max damage, 17. That hurts. So, Bladebeak, this is force damage, yes?
Yeah.
You
Chainsaw
bring that
face.
face just begins to power up, slashes through the side of the creature, and as it does so, you see the armor around it almost begin to spiderweb and crack from the vicious just force cutting through. Bladebeak moves through, hot knife through butter.
All right. Well, Killian was a little bit more concerned before now, but seeing that it can be harmed, feels a little bit better. Can I see that circle, that aura of moonlight? Is it still present, or was it like a sudden I'm here?
It's
type of-
still carrying out that radius of moonlight around it.
Okay. Am I able to find kind of the bounds of it and move to it?
The creature itself is casting moonlight out to a radius that ends at about here. I can give you a little radius at the moment.
It's fine. I'll just go right to the edge of it.
It'd be one more to the left.
Oh, okay.
You rush out of the way, and as you pass out of the moonlight, you can almost feel the like the rays it is casting just leave you. It's almost this cold that was pouring over your body. And at the end of your and Bladebeak's turns, Matilda, you are up.
Okay. Okay, I can see it now. So I'm first for my bonus action. Do I see Jojo? Jojo, where are you? I can't see you. Oh.
I don't think you can heal someone you can't see.
I know. Okay, now I can see her.
Killian is there. You can't end your turn there. Or you can't end your movement there.
Okay. I am going to...
As you move into the radius of the moonlight being cast by the night, you can feel that cold upon you.
2.
Take 2.
Oh, I guess 3. Medium healing is 3.
Yes.
Take 3 health damage. And then I'm going to blast.
It's healing light. Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Attack.
Ooh, very good.
Max damage.
Let's go.
Goodness. Pulling that just crackling force of energy, you let loose this blast, slams into the back of the creature. 14 force damage. Oh, with additional hex damage. So 14 total force damage with hex.
It's
14 force and then 1 hex.
1 necrotic.
Yeah, so 15 altogether.
As you blast this creature with this second display of force, it passes directly through the body to the other side and leaves a crackling hole, and the armor around it just begins to rust and crumble away. That is 28 points of damage. You guys, with 2 strikes on it, you have found a vulnerability to force.
How was the necrotic?
The necrotic did absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay, cool.
You don't see any form of this kind of like naturalistic black kind of energy surrounding it.
All right, so that was I moved 15 feet and then
That was
20.
actually something I wanted to ask, but I'll wait till the end of Matilda's turn.
30, and then I went back to my spot to hide.
Yeah, you pop out, just blast a hole through this creature, and then bring yourself back in as healing light pours over Jojo. And as the creature is now bloody, you see the armor itself attempting desperately to like just sew itself closed. You see that metal attempting to just like build itself back in. You hear bounding in. Matilda, directly to the north of you, you hear this cackling voice. And you guys hear another one echoing out from somewhere in the room. Matilda, immediately, I need you to go ahead and roll for me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god. Okay, Matilda, you are so wise.
Vincent, you see the creature that appears before you. There is a woman that is hovering in midair as though holding on to some kind of pendulum. But you see no pendulum. She's wearing a large kind of celestial half-moon mask and stares down towards Matilda with a cackling face.
I am
Matilda,
not wise.
You have failed.
Yes.
You turn into a chicken.
Ah,
You disappear.
Polymorph.
You literally, your entire body's just... As you look around, you're still wearing all of your clothes, and it's fucking adorable. Your hair is still there. You have like your glasses, but you're a chicken. It's wonderful. It's the best thing that's ever happened. And also, before you transform, you take 12 points of radiant damage.
Oh no!
As this just light begins to pour over you, you can feel your body just being compressed down into the form of a chicken.
Looking at the individual that just did this, do they seem like they're concentrating on this? Or are they
Go
trying
ahead
to
and
hide
look
that?
at It does not seem as though they're concentrating. In fact, they're laughing with reckless abandon, just pointing down towards Chicken Matilda. And let me go ahead and burn one of those. Meanwhile, Killian. You see a figure move into the moonlight on the right side. Jojo, you do as well. That slowly begins to bound forward as though jumping on thin air. And now I can do this with disadvantage. Killian, roll a charisma saving throw.
Apparently, as a chicken, I'm still concentrating.
You do need to roll a... Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Only 11.
With an 11 charisma saving throw, you find your body begin to just compress down as well as you actually, no. You find your sight just taken from you as she looks towards you and begins to cackle and laugh. Your vision as though just widening to the point where you have the field of view increases and you're virtually unable to tell what's going on. The world around you bends and distorts in a wide fashion and you are blinded.
Oof.
You just hear the cackling pouring out throughout the room. Jojo, you are up.
Oh, I can't take another hit like that. I think Jojo's going to... Oh, if I disengage and go away, they're just going to get to me next round anyway. Or...
You don't have any potions on you, right?
I do, but that's a bonus action. Or is it an action?
It's a bonus action to drink potions.
It's a bonus action. The only time a potion is an action in this campaign is to feed it to an unconscious creature.
And it can't be an action if you'd prefer that, right?
No.
Shit. Sorry, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll take a swing at yeah, I'll take a swing at them.
You might be able to get Paka to feed you a potion.
He's pretty far.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit.
The 16 hit?
16 to hit. You bring the blade up, bring it down, ting, bounces right off the armor.
Okay.
What weapon are you currently using?
The Lodemnian Knight Longsword.
Perfect.
Bonus action, I will drink some alcohol. That is 44 plus 4 hit points. Um, 13.
Oh, that's
Goodness.
a magic item.
So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, minimum 10, 13 healing.
Okay, and I guess that's my turn.
As the energy pours through you, you bring that blade up, it bounces off the armor of the creature, and as you strike it with this melee weapon, you see a little mote of starlight appears above this creature's head and just hovers there for a moment.
Sorry, when I hit it with the sword, a mote of starlight appeared above it?
Indeed.
Okay.
Creature's
That's-
going to...
yeah.
Vincent, you are up.
So I have a quick question about movement. Because I noticed Matilda doing this, and I just wanted to know if it would also apply. So she moved around. She saw she couldn't see, so she moved back, but she moved more movement than she could normally.
She moved back because she jumped onto Killian's position, but moving to the right one, diagonal back, and then back to her original position was 30 feet of movement.
Okay, so she didn't actually circle the other way around.
No, we had to move her back because she ended up on Killian's space.
Yeah, he moved me back because I wasn't supposed to stop my turn in her space. I made sure I counted the squares.
I thought something different then. It was
All
weird
good.
on my screen. Okay, so notice this thing in front. It's not concentrating. Chicken person. I don't know how to fix that. Vincent's just like, shit. Paka, stay with me. We might need to figure out an escape. And on your turn, do you want to grab Matilda and put her... Can you hold her? She's a chicken.
It's always my turn. I am always ready.
Exactly. He'll peek out, and because he heard Killian say that, like, shit's going bad. He notices, I guess, the other thing over there.
I'm kind of like looking around wildly. Is there like just like starlight in my eyes?
No,
Or, like, what has
visibly
been-
there doesn't seem to be any strange magical happening.
Okay.
Just looking at you, you definitely seem to be like, what is going on?
You could easily just shout on your turn. I can't see, so that
Yeah.
it's not a huge issue. Looking around. Vincent's going to look towards Jojo and be like, "You still got a bit in you, girl. Don't worry about it." And he's gonna cast Healing Word on you.
Oh, thank you.
Six points of healing. And looking at the knight and looking at these other dudes, the weird puppet things, I'm gonna call them puppet things, floating in the air. Do they seem beefy like the dude? Like they seem incredibly fragile.
They seem incredibly lithe and fragile. In fact, in their motions, they almost seem fluid, like trapeze artists dancing through the sky.
Cool. Vincent's gonna take aim at this one with his bow as his action, and he's gonna use one of his walloping arrows to try and knock it prone.
Wallop.
Wallop.
This ammunition packs a wallop.
Why is it a -1? Oh, it's using like weird calculations, so it should be 13 plus 2 plus 2 to hit. 17 to hit.
17 to hit, 17 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. DC 10, strike 7.
It's just. So 5 piercing damage and a DC 10 strength saving throw.
As you pull back the arrow and you let it loose, it flies in towards the creature, slams into them, and just like the impact blasts them as they begin to fall. They fall in slow motion, just waving their arms aggressively as though they're falling hundreds of feet. And when they hit the ground, splatter into just this wide mess. And you see them reach up slowly towards the air before arm slams into the ground.
They're vulnerable to prone.
If these creatures
Like
fall
a
prone,
flump.
it seems like they outright die.
Amazing.
As they
Great
just
job,
splatter
Bianca.
into the ground, the blood just spatters across.
They look like they're made out of porcelain dolls, so I was like, the ground would probably hurt.
Am I still a chicken?
You're currently still a chicken.
I targeted the one out here, not the one in there, but they were also not concentrating on it from what I could tell. And Vincent will just kind of like look around and assess. He still has his detect thoughts up, by the way, so let me know if he feels any more other invisible creatures in his radius. He's going to take a step back here. Actually, he's going to stay where he is. He's actually more intimidated by the puppet thing.
Do you just passively detect the surface thoughts of people around you?
No,
Okay,
you
but
just
You have to
detect
correct it.
you detect the presence of thinking creatures.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so for each, it basically lasts for a minute, and each minute you can change like your targets within the area to detect their purpose thoughts. But for the
Gotcha.
other one, yeah, you can just detect presences.
Okay.
Mo's turn. Mo moves in and finishing his kind of flyby, just turns and pours the vial out down around the creature. As he just uncorks and drops it, you see this liquid just appear out of nowhere and splatter across the body of the knight, who just looks up towards for a brief moment, but does not seem to take any action. And then you hear Jojo as Mo takes off. That was full movement, yes? Yes. Paka's turn at the beginning. You wanted Paka to grab Chicken Matilda?
And if
Chicken
he has
Matilda,
any-
do you fight this?
Do I have enough mental capacity to understand what's going on? Like, am I actual chicken or am I Matilda inside the body of a chicken? Because that'll change
That's
things.
a very good question. Let me check.
I'm not trying to.
You are a
circumvent
chicken.
and-
You are a
I'm
chicken through and through.
So
So you would actually be unable to concentrate on this spell.
Oh no, okay.
Let me think about this, actually. Does anywhere in Polymorph make it so that when you... Because you have been shape changed as though you are under the effect of Polymorph. Does anywhere in this spell make it so that you would fail your concentration checks? Currently, as a chicken, you have an intelligence of 1.
I don't think it specifically states in Polymorph, but I'll have to reread it.
For now, until I know otherwise, you are still concentrating. I think that's totally fine. And also, Vincent, you were saying something before. He runs forward, he grabs onto Matilda, and you were saying something else?
Yeah, if he's able, and then I'll ask Paka to come hide over here with me. And if he has the capabilities, because I don't know if he has any actions left, I'd like a torch.
Running over and picking up Matilda is grabbing a creature and moving it, so that's a grapple action.
Okay.
Yeah. Grabbing objects is free. Grabbing a creature would be the action in this case. But you get scooped up, Matilda, by Paka, and he just kind of rushes over and holds on to you and just kind of looks you in the face. He's like, this is the best. And just like holds on to you, kind of pulling you in for a big hug. I was waiting for you to say something. I was like, you are held onto currently. You're pulled out of the general range of this creature. And I brought you all the way up to the creature for fun. Now, Jojo.
Oh boy, here we go.
Hold on. So the target's game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast. So I would not be concentrating.
I just don't know that there is an intelligence limit on concentration.
That's what I mean. Like, there's
That's
not.
right.
Unless it
Yeah.
doesn't
We'll circle back to that in a little bit. But for now, as the creature stares on towards the two of you, you see that moat, Jojo, fall down into the blade. The knight bursts back for a brief moment, like just pulls away, so you can get an attack of opportunity if you wish. It brings itself up to 15 feet and stands above the podium.
Does it look like that was bad or good for me?
Roll insight.
Bladebeak would take an attack.
Okay, absolutely.
Not a very good insight.
It's 2. You're not entirely certain.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take an attack of opportunity. Another 16 to hit, so no.
16 and an 8 both do not hit. As the blades both ting bounce off the armor, you see one more mote of starlight appears above the creature's head. And as it aims down, you see the blade in hand. An additional blade of light pours out of the bottom. It grabs the handle and pulls back as a bowstring lifts from the blade two-handed, aims down towards the two of you, and just lets loose this blast of radiant energy. Both of you make a dexterity saving throw. There's Bladebeak and Jojo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Natural 20, 21.
Very nice.
Ooh.
5 is not as good. Jojo, you suffer 15 points of radiant damage. Bladebeak, you take 30. As this just blast of moonlight erupts out around you. Jojo, you maintain your position. Bladebeak is knocked back 10 feet.
Yeah, and Bladebeak just like...
Powers down?
Yeah, powers down. The head kind of just like... bounces away with no energy connecting it.
Jojo, you good?
Oh, that's very cool. Yep.
Alrighty. The creature is then going to disappear.
Can I?
Appearing back over here, and it turns its attention down towards the two who are currently standing. And this just a flicker of silvery mist. Killian. Sorry, Vincent, what were you saying before?
No, it's fine. I
Okay.
thought he was staying invisible, so I was wondering if I could detect him.
Killian, you were up.
It's still hovering, so like, do I hear a sound, or is it just like teleport behind you, nothing personnel, kid?
You hear the just like sound of just this flashing. You're aware of the general location of the creature.
I don't know. Do I know that Bladebeak was taken out?
As an artificer, I think you would. I just feel like you would.
Okay. Then if that's the case, I'm just going to like Jojo, can you say something? Oh no.
Well, Candace isn't here.
The perfect irony.
You won.
All right, so you did say something?
Yeah, what do you want?
Killian just says, nothing, that's fine. Just keep talking. And
Okay.
Killian's gonna like try to get over in that direction. I don't know how blinded affects my ability to like move. I'd
say I would say you suffer 5 points of movement penalty because like as you're walking in a straight line towards Jojo, you kind of just like butt into the side of this little thing. But everything else is a clear shot from here.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna wander over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Diagonals count. Every second diagonal counts as an additional 5 feet. So from where you were originally, it'd be 5, 10, 20, 25. You'd basically make it up to here towards Jojo.
Okay. Then if that's the case, I am going to dash so that I can reach Bladebeak. As I get closer to wherever Jojo's making a lot of noise, I'm just gonna be like, I can't see, like I don't know what they did. But can you point me in the direction of wherever Bladebeak is?
Oh yeah. And I'll just like bring her hands down to Bladebeak's head. The head that is not attached to the body anymore.
Alright, cool. Let's see. There's something for reviving. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I will. I'll just like free interaction with an object. Try to like get my hands on Bladebeak. But that's going to be my turn.
She starts doing compressions.
But I think I will. I don't have any good bonus action spells for this particular moment, so I'm just gonna eat the bonus action, I guess. Yeah, that's my turn. Is just getting back to Bladebeak.
Awesome. Also for your next turn, with the dash action currently taken, with your Tinker's tools in hand, or your Smith's tools rather, you can use an action to revive it so long as it's died within 5 hours, or the last hour, and you're within 5 feet of it. You got to burn a first level or higher spell slot. And then that will be your action on your next turn, and Bladebeak will pop back up. Which so I believe.
So it says that like if I cast Mending, which takes a minute, it'll regain a hit points. If it has died, I can revive it, but it does say the Steel Defender returns to life after 1 minute with all of its hit points restored. So does that mean that I use one action and a spell to kind of start the process, and then it takes a minute for it to kind of spin up and do its diagnostics?
Basically, like you are not locked into the action. It is one action on your part, and then it takes a minute for the energy to pour back up.
That's how I understood it. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you begin to revive it, and it's just like do as a boot process.
Windows boot process.
Yeah.
Press escape. Oh no! Why did you invent a fax machine into the creature? Bladebeak's turn. Bladebeak is good. Matilda, you're up. You are a chicken currently. At the end of your turn, you can roll a Wisdom saving throw to attempt to unchicken.
A Wisdom as Matilda or as the chicken?
As the chicken.
As the chicken.
Ooh,
Which
rough.
is what?
You got it, buddy.
I don't know, Adrian. What are chicken stats?
That's a good question. Let me bring chicken up again. Do you do anything with your chicken action? You can peck.
Do I feel threatened by Paka?
Go ahead and roll an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. I'm going to just roll a d20, and then do you mind just being in charge of chicken stats?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Your intelligence is -4. Your wisdom is +1.
Oh,
Chickens
0.
are wise. With a 0, you probably peck Paka.
Yeah, okay.
So go ahead and roll. That is
Attack.
1 piercing damage and +1 to hit.
Okay, hold on.
Gonna roll a d20 to hit.
Yes.
I don't hit.
You're not accustomed to this whole chicken thing yet. You're kind of like attacking and pecking at Paka, but he's just like as you're slowly just kind of tickling the arms. You just hear more coming from the north of you. You may now roll a wisdom saving throw with a +1.
Okay, chicken. No.
You remain a chicken. Your body
I
kind of
remain
like
a chicken.
bubbles up slightly, but remains as you were. And now
Sorry, guys.
this dancer moves over to the side in an attempt to try and spot someone. They're going to take aim, bring a hand out, and you see 3 little daggers pop in, and then throw 3 daggers out in a straight line. That is Matilda and Paka. Nat 20 on Matilda, miss on Matilda, hit on Paka. So as these daggers come in, Matilda, you take 9 points of piercing damage. So you take 1 point in your chicken form, and then you are immediately reverted back, and you take 8 points of piercing
Okay.
damage. And Paka
Ow.
gets slammed into and takes, that is 5 points of piercing damage.
That's not very
Good to note,
nice.
though.
It's not dead. Stop that game.
I think he only has like a health on his stat block.
So I take 8, you said, correct?
That is 8 total, yes.
Okay, I
And you are no
bloody-
longer a chicken as you pop back into your normal form.
Fun check, I guess.
I bloody.
That is 11. You succeed. And you are bloodied. This figure looks on towards you, smiles, laughs, and just slowly begins to waver in and out as the body just begins to blur ever so slightly. Jojo, you are up.
The flump is gonna appear right here as my bonus action. Jojo, realizing that the sword has some sort of connection to this guy, and also that he is over there and has turned his attention away from her, she's gonna raise up the Lodemnian Night Sword. Be like, hey! Leg day! And she's gonna turn around and smash the statue behind her with the longsword. And
Okay.
It's a thunderous, like 300-foot bell rings out, and it's a critical hit automatically.
You absolute unit. You turn around, you just take this blade and slam into the statue that stands behind. As the eyes turn towards you, those flames that were the small embers within erupt to the entire top half of the helmet as it just stands, turns its attention completely away from Vincent, and you see that flame begin to slowly pour over the entire body as the longsword bow slowly turns back into a blade, erupts into a blue flame along the blade, and it looks towards you, enraged.
He needs to make a dexterity saving throw as his flump explodes.
What's the DC? Was it 13?
DC is hang on, I think it went up because my con went up. 14.
14? Just fails.
Yes. Okay. That is 1d6 force damage. Oh, yes. So
Max
12.
damage.
Yeah.
The flump explodes, just blasting shrapnel across the body as you see tiny little holes appear in the armor, pierced all the way through. It just stares at you.
And she's gonna move her full movement this way away from the blinded Killian. And that's
Okay.
my turn.
Sweet. Vincent, you're up.
Seeing Jojo essentially goading this thing over to it, he's just gonna look towards her and kind of nod, and give her kind of like a nice smile, and he's gonna inspire you.
Aw.
I need
No,
it.
that's nice.
And then he's going to move.
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. He moves 25 feet of movement because it's 10 through Killian, 10 through Matilda, and then 1 up because it wouldn't let me go diagonally.
Killian's up.
Killian's way
Yeah.
up there.
Or not Killian, Paka.
Ah, okay.
And then he takes a shot at this guy with his bow again.
He's 2 small green characters in the party.
We all look the same to you.
Ooh, only 7 to hit.
You loose the arrow and they kind of
Ah.
just like give this brief bend.
Ignore that. I don't know what happened.
So you've shot 3 times.
Can you-
And the second
I'm
one was
not-
with
Something's
advantage.
going wrong.
Want to just kill those other? Again, I'm not. I think holding cap lock and hitting buttons causes weird stuff to happen on D&D Beyond. So.
Mayhaps. So the
Or
first
not
attack,
D&D on Blood Foundry.
the first attack was a 7, so the 7 misses.
Okay.
So you loose the arrow and they kind of bend in this just crescent moon shape as the arrow slams into the back wall and you see this just brief indent and shake and shudder as dust begins to fall.
Okay. He will move here, and then it is turn then.
Alrighty. It is Mo's turn, and Mo currently does not have anything. Do you wish to provide him with a command?
I think I'm too distracted right now, and I don't have no idea where he is.
Alright, he just kind of
Zoop.
does his own thing at the moment. Paka's turn. Paka's like, I got a dagger in my chest. That hurt. He turns around and sees the knight, sees everything that's currently going on, and just...
Paka, go hide over here. Point to the corner.
He looks at the creature who's like standing right there and dutifully shuffles over to the corner and attempts to take the hide action. I'll set for you. Alrighty. That is Paka's turn. It is now the knight's turn. Turns its attention towards you, Jojo. This is at least 10 feet in a straight line, correct? I need you to make a strength saving throw. You're raging, so you have advantage on this, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. Yeah. That's an 18.
18? 18 succeeds. This knight turns. You see that flame pour around its back and just bursts forward as the just jet flame begins to propel it.
She like goes
slams
out and
into
grabs
you,
it, and it's just like there's like a standstill.
just shaking
so
constantly.
rad.
The armor is fucking shimmering, and as it looks towards you, brings the blade back in its berserk form. 3 incredibly quick slashes.
Oh, holy shit! Oh no!
You hear a feminine voice pour out from within the armor, and it says, "You know nothing of her glory."
Why don't we talk about it? You can educate me.
Good try.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Blast comes through. 2 of these lacerate, one directly down across your chest. You feel your heart skip a beat. The other one comes through, and you dodge back while holding on to this knight's body. And then this third comes in and just sweeps down across your legs, and you feel your legs almost buckle, but just the strength within, you do not skip leg day, holds you aloft. And as the blades come through in this vicious swipes, you suffer. That is 13 points of piercing, halved to 6. And 12 radiant.
And 12 radiant. So that is a total of 18 damage. I'm still up.
You take note as these blades come through. It hurt a lot less than the initial attack from the beginning of this encounter.
Okay.
As you currently stand just on the precipice of going
Very
down.
bloody. I mean, I guess she's not bleeding at all, right? Because all this damage is internal.
You see that last mote of starlight above the head fly down and slam into your body, crossing through. It hit you with the attack, so this automatically hits.
Okay, I have 6 hit points
You take another 3 points of radiant damage.
Oh, oh my god.
And then, what bonus actions do you have? Ooh, it's going to bonus action, envelop in a silvery mist, appear back, and you see the flame pour over for it to attempt to charge you again. Killian, you are up.
Amazing. I love D&D.
All right. Killian is kind of like looking at, or just hears all of that blade swinging and gritting of teeth right behind her, and she's like, but she's gonna keep doing what she was gonna do. She's going to take out her smith tools, and I think what this looks like is she takes a pair of calipers, and she pulls the small power source from within the neck area where the energy meets with the body, and she just kind of uses essentially a cure wounds, but not really. It's just a spell slot's worth of magic, and just pulses the magic back to life and inserts it back into the head. And as the light starts to glow a little bit more, it doesn't reconnect with the body yet, but the eyes kind of start turning in an almost clock-like fashion as it kind of recharges itself.
Fucking love it.
That is my action. I'm just gonna shout out Jojo, are you okay?
I'm holding on.
Okay. I could cast Sanctuary if I can find you.
I'm gonna be fighting this thing.
Okay. All right. So Killian's just actually gonna cast Sanctuary on herself. Just gonna double check that I don't have to see a creature to cast Sanctuary. Oh, creature within range. Okay. Cool.
Does Buckbeak get up right away? Or Bladebeak?
No,
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
On round 14, guys, don't worry, that'll come real quick.
Yeah. All right. Sanctuary on myself. I don't need to make a wisdom saving throw. Unless I did to get the effect. I don't know.
What does it look like?
Looks like you have Sanctuary over you. Yeah.
What does Sanctuary look like?
Yeah, I want to give me that mind picture. I want it. I need it.
I think I've done it before, but she essentially takes the flat of her smithing hammer, and as she holds it, the metal on the hammer's head kind of becomes incredibly shiny, like a mirror, and then she just kind of pulls it across herself, and as she does, there's a little reflective barrier that appears around her.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Is Sanctuary concentration? Oh, it's not. Brilliant.
It is not.
And as this barrier appears over you, and Bladebeak begins to pour through its startup process, Matilda, you are up. You're no longer a chicken.
Okay. I'm going to pop my potion. My bonus action.
Your greater healing potion.
I know.
Minimum 10, 13. Again. Brilliant.
Okay, cool. 15.
I think you pop it open. It's just like this red bubbling liquid that begins to pour out light as you begin to chug it down. And as you do, you feel the wounds begin to close around you.
Okay, so that was my bonus action. Can't move.
Oh, it's not your turn. Sorry. There we go. Now it's your turn.
Thank you. And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast guy.
The creature seemingly has thrown defense to the wind, though this plate mail remains yet ever strong.
Okay. Come on, Matilda. Yes! Oh, no! Darn it! It's not enough!
15?
Not enough,
What
is
is
it?
You launch that blast towards the creature. As it just prepares for a second charge towards Jojo, tears through the back and just begins to glances, grazes off, and you look towards as you feel like this hit has missed, as the armor begins to chip away. You hit. I'll go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, drop that AC. Oh no.
No!
I mean, it's forced, so it's
Yeah,
vulnerable.
It's still good.
It's still hexed as well. So
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
No.
Oh,
think
isn't it not?
Did the
No, that
dagger
got
hit
dropped.
break your concentration?
I didn't.
No,
Oh.
you rolled an 11. No, still hexed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
your concentration's still
But,
up. Still
but the
up.
necrotic, it's immune to necrotic.
Yes.
At least it was.
The
So-
necrotic does not seem to have done any kind of damage.
Oh, okay.
One way
I
or the
didn't
other.
realize that.
But I didn't roll my hex damage for some reason.
I think it's
Whatever.
because I ended your concentration previously. So during, I will go ahead and re-up that.
Okay. So, yeah, I did that. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20. 5. Okay. And then I'll end my turn. Really all I
Alrighty.
can do, even though I wanted to do more, but
As you rush in, blast the creature, you begin to move away, and you hear once again a cackling. They're going to move over here. They lift themselves about 15 feet up in the air, bounding up higher and higher. So they're going to shuffle over here. That's unfortunate. They just point their hand. They're looking around trying to get a decent spot between both Jojo, or Matilda, and Vincent. And as they look around, you see they just like incredibly just, in this flourishing fashion, just like, that sucks. Brings two hands up, raises a small piece of wood in their hand, waves it around, and you see 3 silvery bolts fly in. One of them strikes in against Matilda. All 3 of them strike in against Matilda. There's no other target that they can manage here. Matilda, as these bolts hit you, you attempt to move out of the way, you attempt to dodge, but there is no dodging these bolts as they fly in towards you. That is 11 points of force damage.
okay.
Good job healing yourself.
Whoops, I almost gave my I thought I gave myself 0, but I almost gave myself Q damage. Okay, I'm bloodied again.
This individual then saunters forward 5 more feet. Bloodied again. I'll apply the bloodied. And Jojo, you are up.
The flump is going to appear right here. And then Jojo. Yeah, Jojo's gonna take out this item from her side. And she's gonna whisper to it, "Seek," and she's gonna throw it into the air, and it's going to slam into this guy no matter what, or this gal no matter what.
The dex save for him, right? Or her?
I believe it's an automatic hit with the Seeker Dart.
Yeah, for
I
them,
believe it's a
I
dex
think
save.
that-
It's just that you throw it and it seeks out its target as long as it
So
has
with
some
the
kind of a
seek
pathway
and hurl the
towards it.
dart, it seeks out a target of your choice within 120 feet. You must have seen the target before, but you don't need to see them now.
DC 16 dex save.
Still hits
Okay.
them, it'll do half damage. So it does always hit, it's just the amount of
Oh.
damage.
You throw the dart.
Oh, okay.
You throw the dart. It impacts directly into the armor. You see it before sinking in. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, great. So that is 1d4 piercing damage. I'm just going to do this.
Were you
with this
hitting
thing.
the armor or the spell check?
The armor.
The big
Okay.
boy,
Um,
big lady.
big lady. 1d4 piercing, so that's only 1 piercing damage, and then 3d4 lightning. So 6 lightning damage.
And 6 light. Pours through the body, and they just stare towards you, almost unperturbed.
They need to make a dexterity saving throw, DC 14. And actually, I'm sorry, I just ended my turn, but I meant to move.
Okay. The dex save goes on at the very end of your turn. That's when the flump explodes. So you shuffle over there.
Yeah.
You hear,
You're fighting it now.
Come get me!
and then you move over. The flump
Yeah,
Explodes.
DC 14 dex save for them.
Guys, dex saves? Really? Can you not
Yeah.
just make them strength saves? Please
Well,
and thank you.
They'd have hex, so it'd be at disadvantage for strength saves anyway.
I still though.
Checks.
So that was, it was a DC 14.
Yes.
They succeed. Bring the blade down, slash
damn
directly
it.
through the flump, and it just dissipates.
Okay. That's cool.
Vincent, you are up.
Cool. He's gonna take a step forward. And he's gonna take another shot at this guy. Another 3.
No.
Misses again.
The second one comes in. They kind of dance in this just full moon pattern, and then hover in place.
And then he'll look over towards Jojo, and as a bonus action, he's going to cast another healing word towards you. At 2nd level.
Nice.
Very nice.
Healing.
Good healing.
The bardic energies begin to pour over you, and you feel your
And,
wounds slowly begin to wear to close.
He'll look over to everyone. We should wrap this up soon, guys. This is getting a little bit intense. And he'll back up a bit. He'll go here. And end his turn.
Alrighty. Mo kind of remains. Do you wish to yell something out towards Mo?
Yeah, he'll tell Mo to go find Paka, see if he can get a torch. Light that bitch on fire. Or find
Yeah,
some way
a
to
little
to. I don't know if there's torches burning in here.
There is none. And on Paka's turn, he's going to pop out a torch.
Paka can do it himself. He can run forward and throw it. The dude's already slathered in oil.
Paka pulls the torch out from the bag and just begins to like run holding it up like it's a marathon as he makes his way out and can kind of like just look out and see the creature. Prepares to throw it, but he cannot yet. In this instance, let me actually check. Yes, it is an action to pull out and light a torch.
What I'm picturing is that like Macintosh commercial from the 80s, with like the person with like the hammer or whatever that like runs in and like smashes a screen or something.
I vaguely remember that, but for some reason I remember more like characters from Friends doing it, which is odd. Jojo, as you call out towards this figure, enraged, they move forward, kind of just hitting the other side as they step into that silvery mist and appear before the two of you. I need Jojo and Matilda to both make a... What are you here, my friend?
Well, fuck.
Dexterity saving throw.
What the heck?
Yeah. Nice.
Jojo, natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoops. What? Okay.
Jojo, you remain firmly in place as a burst of radiant energy erupts out around you. Matilda, you remain firmly in place. This burst of radiant energy encircles.
Let's go.
You each take 5 points of radiant damage.
Oh,
And you just hold yourself as this light erupts out from the night. They bring the blade up and go down for this one slash against Jojo. You see the blade kind of ignite in energy as they hold it in place and prepare for their coup de grace. What is your AC right now?
My AC is 15. Do you want to know my hit points?
No.
Okay.
Never say your hit points out loud. That's the trick. People
Think it
will
adds
know.
suspense.
Okay, I'm still concentrating.
Jojo, the blade comes up, comes down. You bring yourself in to attempt to like hold on, grab, or tank it, and as the blade comes through, slips directly past your guard, slashes down, directly down the center of your head, out the side of your body, and blue flame begins to pour down through the gap as it just takes this vicious slash towards you. You suffer. That's it, you suffer. You take...
Big number. Big number, better person.
Cool. You take 11 points of piercing damage.
So halved.
So that's 5. And then 15 points of radiant damage.
Yes. So, as that sword comes down the center and out the side, the blue flame, Jojo just like, eyes roll back into her head as she's like stumbles to the side and catches herself. And it's like, whew. And eyes, no, very little, only willpower is holding her up. This orcish willpower in her blood.
I think you do need to roll for that.
No, it just kicks
No?
in.
It just kicks in.
Amazing.
She just goes to 1 hit point instead of 0.
Yeah.
I love it. So you were never brought to 0 hit points either, right?
When you are reduced to 0 but not killed, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. So
Excellent. As
It
the blue
replaces
flame
it.
just begins to attempt to burn through your body, it just dissipates from you. You also see that blue flame as the slash comes down, hits the wall behind, and just erupts outwards as it would have been this just massive line, but focused entirely on you. You see you. The knight stares down towards you for a brief moment as you are just silhouetted by these blue flames and your eyes with this just orcish fury stare.
and a smile on her face.
And then the knight brings itself down to the ground and just hovers above the ground, looking both towards you, turning its head backwards towards Matilda as that berserk nature lifts from its face. And Killian, you are up.
All right. Killian is still blind. But did hear Jojo say seek. And so for the second time this campaign, Killian was going to immediately get rid of her sanctuary spell and just say goodbye to that spell slot. Goodbye, you did great things. And she is also going to fumble at her belt, pull out a dart, and say seek, and just like throw it like up into the air, just like a, I don't know, like a drone. And so it needs to make another dex save against my dart.
Strength save it is.
And my
Oh no!
Very dark.
So that's one of those numbers. That's one of the worst ones you can get. Go ahead and roll damage. As the dart
Okay.
rips
It's
around the
always hard
corner,
to tell.
impacts into the eye, and just begins to.
It's always hard to
There's-
tell whether you mean it's a bad number for us or for you.
Yeah. So that's 2 piercing and then 10 lightning.
Oh man!
As the electricity pours through, smoke begins to pour out from the helmet. The eyes flare to life, and it remains. Like, you see the armor kind of almost falling apart at this point, holds the blade viciously, and just prepares. So,
As a bonus action, can't really do too much. So Killian will just stay next to Bladebeak, I guess.
yeah, you
She
just
doesn't-
hear.
Yeah. She's just gonna like tap it, like, come on, hurry up, even though she knows that it won't do anything. But much like any computer booting up.
Come on, BIOS. As we circle around to Matilda, we will actually take a break here. We will take our 15, and we will return shortly. See what happens. Matilda, it is your turn.
Okay. There was a lot of frantic discussion going on, so as per our discussion, bonus action! No, not spell. Spell? No. Healing light. How do I make it set to all 4 of them? It doesn't give me an option to choose the number.
Yeah, with that
I think you
interface,
just
it
have to
doesn't.
do it 4 times.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But we can all, yeah, basically. So I just roll,
3 more
Roll.
D6s.
yeah.
Okay.
So targeting Jojo, you unleash this just flurry of healing light.
Ba-ba-ba-ba. 1, 2, 3. Roll.
Thank goodness everyone else in this party can heal.
17 hit points.
17 healing.
Oh, very good. Might survive.
Okay, so then I did that, and then as my bonus, my actual action, I'm gonna take out the secret dart out of my inventory and say seek. And I want it to seek the asshole in front of me, even though I can see them.
It just kind of flies in. It will now make a dexterity.
I just
saving
like give them like really like very intense eye contact, and I pull it out and I say seek, and I let it go.
throw. Turns around and looks at you and says, "Ha ha! You have disadvantage in melee." And then it slams in. What is this? That is.
Dexterity saving.
I like how their voice suddenly changed so much. They're now Keratin.
Yeah, now they're.
Guard.
Oh, hello, friends. This is the most feminine voice I can produce. The dart flies in, slams into the back of the armored head, and it slams back. The dart flies away.
Oh.
Does not hit.
No.
Actually, the electricity tears through because it does do half still yet. Correct?
Yes.
Doesn't say in
no,
the
actually,
item, but I don't know.
Let me go ahead and check. DC 16 dex save. 1d4 piercing, 3d4 lightning. The dart is then spent and it becomes an ordinary dart. Unfortunately, there is no half damage.
Oh.
The dart tings off the back
I
of the
tried,
helmet.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It is what it
Best
is.
effort,
The
best
more times we can get this off, the more chances there is to hit.
Yo, there's like chunks missing of this creature because of your Eldritch Blasts.
Yeah.
No,
You did
I
a lot of
wanted to-
damage.
I wanted to blast it, but it's disadvantage. Stupid
And
thing.
it's still a to hit too, so there's still a chance it would have missed.
I know.
Anything with the rest of your turn? You chill there?
Yeah, well, I can't move.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know if being up against a wall is smart. Yeah, so there. I'll move there, but stay in its range.
Yeah, I would just be careful with its like when it first showed up, it did this like huge swing attack, a big sweeping attack, and hit both Jojo
No,
and.
I don't think I'm gonna like not get attacked. I just didn't think it was smart for me to be stuck up against a wall.
With your passive investigation, Matilda, you still determine that the width of that swing and the speed of it doesn't seem like it could hit both of you at this range, where
Nice.
you're currently.
Oh, also I forgot to do my insight check. Oh well, never mind.
You can, if you wish. You can do an insight check to attempt to see whether or not it's too focused on
You were
Jojo.
gonna do that to see if you wanted to back up an Eldritch Blast, though, right? So it's a
I
little.
know.
yeah.
But even though it's still good information to know. So I want to just kind of like see if I can infer that.
For sure. Go ahead and roll insight. In the meantime, as you are doing that, this figure.
Yeah, can't tell.
Can't tell?
Well, it's an 8.
8. You glean no additional insight.
Yeah.
This figure will move here. As it shuffles
Fucker.
over and around, begins to dance. It kind of takes note of everyone and where they are. Nice. Brings the wand up. Do-do-do-do. 4 individual motes appear out of it, and one for each of you. So that is... Do-do-do. Jojo,
Yes.
you take 4 points of force damage. Matilda, you take 2 points of force damage. Vincent, you take 3 points of force damage, and Paka takes 3 points of force damage. Paka's like,
Thank
I
you.
don't feel so good.
Thank you so much for that healing, because that would have downed me.
Matilda succeeds on her concentration check. Hex remains.
Oh, I have to roll a concentration too.
1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Paka was not targeted. That was Killian. Killian, you were the one who took 3. Paka's back up.
Great. It's the first damage I've taken this.
Ooh. Concentration ends. It's fine. I don't think this is
What were you concentrating on?
detect thoughts.
Oh, right. Yeah.
In this entire time, you did not detect any additional thoughts.
Hmm.
But you do sense something as Detect Thoughts goes out. Just as a little bit of narrative flavor. Almost in like this aura surrounding the cathedral itself. In this flitter between the spell and as it just separates from you, you sense the thousandfold tone completely encasing you. At the boundaries of the building itself.
Does my passive insight, like
passive
or
insight?
investigation? I don't know. Like,
You have
what does that mean?
You have good. Your passive's lordy. With your passive investigation, you would discern that there seems to be some kind of a barrier, or a like not a barrier, but like a threshold that has been erected around the outside of this cathedral. You're not entirely certain what passing through it might do, but you ascertain. I mean, your passive investigation is ludicrous. You probably ascertain that leaving this barrier would have some kind of an effect on the fight.
Okay.
Meanwhile, this creature here has used its action. Let me go ahead and roll a d6 for you, my friend. Okay. It's moved a fair chunk. It just kind of remains there at the moment, laughing. And Jojo, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to switching a Oh, it takes like an item interaction to like swap weapons, right?
So you would have to, at current, with the rules that we have right now, you would have to drop your sword, and you can item interaction pull out a different one. But you have to drop your sword on the ground as a free action.
I think I'm gonna stick with the Lodemnian longsword.
It's the only magical weapon I think you have.
And
so that might be causing it to go through resistances.
Are you attacking recklessly?
I'm really considering it.
I don't know that you can really consider attacking recklessly. I think, that feels a little counterintuitive to me. I was just considering throwing all thought to the wind. But the very idea of it.
The player is really considering attacking recklessly because I think I'm gonna go down anyway, but then they'll have advantage on every hit.
I think you gotta the point is to try and get him down before then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack recklessly.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
I love it.
Come on, no
All
wins.
in, baby. I have an object that could add a d6. Am I
You do it.
right now?
You are.
Use
you
both of
have
those
Bardic
objects.
Inspiration.
23.
1d3. You can also choose to use the Bardic Inspiration after you know the outcome of the roll, I believe.
Oh, yeah. It was an 18,
actually,
but I didn't know that.
Excellent.
Did I attack
23.
with advantage? I didn't
Doesn't
see.
look like you did.
Yeah.
You didn't. Go ahead and roll an additional d20.
Okay.
The first one.
That one. Wait, which one? The first one was.
Oh,
six-
They're both 16.
What the
They're
heck?
both 16?
Indeed.
Plus, but it'd be 16. Wait, what? Hang on. I rolled a 16, and then my bonus to hit is.
It suddenly changed.
I know, it's so confusing.
Yeah.
I have a +7 to hit, so I wouldn't have used that Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, it would have been a 23.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay.
I think that I had a 23 with the Bardic Inspiration before, but now I have a 23 without the Bardic Inspiration.
So with advantage and all of that occurring, I'm totally cool with giving you back your d6 Bardic Inspiration.
And I will use that on
damage.
Woo! Could it still be the 6 I rolled?
I'll roll fate dice. No.
Okay.
That's a 4 fate dice. Unfavorable.
Normal!
Ooh.
That's 17 damage of the slashing variety.
Here's what's going to
Magical,
happen. Here's what's going to happen. The knight brings the blade down, and as you bring the Lodemnian longsword in for a vicious slash, you see them go for a parry to increase their AC. And as the blade slams against yours, you see it begin to deflect away from the body, and you force your way through, slashing directly through their blade. Tell me what happens.
Did I do it? How do you want to do this moment?
Tell me what happens. It's completely.
Okay.
This is like my
Oh,
delicious frosted O's cereal
Okay, I
version.
just wanted to make sure that I'm not just like, I cut it in half and you're like, oh, I didn't bring it. Actually, you didn't actually bring it to 0. That's what I didn't want to happen.
I just wanted you
yeah.
to feel happy for a moment, and then I could crush that much better.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Like you said, they go to parry, and she brings the sword and just like breaks their moon sword in half. It just shatters this shattering moonlight all around us as it goes ting, and you hear the Lodemnian longsword as it hits this like gong, like bell noise erupt from us. And she swipes and just like through underneath the their right arm and up to the other shoulder, she like splits it in half as it still hovering. It hovers slowly and does not collapse as it slowly drifts away into the ash, which I imagine is sort of like moonlight into ash.
Mm.
And as it falls down to its knees too, the ash begins to flitter, the body holding itself together through sheer will. The arm raises up, and you just hear underneath the helmet, "I would know your name, lady."
Jojen. It's Jojen Mates.
She says, "No, that is not your name." And slowly she begins to fade away. Those of you who are currently within sight, Killian, you feel your entire body kind of jerked off to the side for a brief moment, as on the plinth you see that ash that carries away from the body flitters over towards this plinth and begins to rebuild itself into a statue. You see that, like, just dancing, like the moon dancer that hovers over in the other corner, just begins to ephemerally move its way into place and places one hand on the side of the cheek of the knight, who now, arms kind of like knees on the ground, arms clasped in prayer, just sits with this one figure. The second figure appears on the right side as you see a statue of 3 figures: the knight, the 2 dancers, in a solid embrace, staring upwards towards the statue that is crumbled of this forgotten goddess. And as these final moments bear through, everybody roll a D100.
What do you do?
8.
26.
Or
These are some low 1d100 rolls.
Yeah, these are some good 1d100 rolls. Let me go ahead and check this for a moment. As the ash fills in and creates a statue of 3 figures staring solemnly towards a goddess. In your hands, you see a brief mote of moonlight that begins to solidify. You see before you, as these individual items just fill in, small storm of ash that lands in your hands. Vincent, 22. In your hand is a small pouch with a crescent moon symbol containing 200 gold pieces. And inlaid in is a very fine-looking longsword that just begins to...
Inside of this small pouch?
No. You have the small pouch, and as well as this longsword that kind of fills it in as it just solid, like, prints itself out of ash. You find a brilliantly flourishing longsword with a symbol of a rearing golden lion, crown upon its head, inlaid into the hilt. You have 200 gold pieces and the Enthian Knight's longsword. All of these items are in D&D Beyond as well.
Ooh, okay. Fine.
Actually, let me double check because I might have removed them from my collection.
So there's like globs that showed up for all of us, and they all go to our hands, and like lights are full, like these items are appearing in them.
These items have been granted to you, and you alone. What you do with them is your prerogative.
Okay.
I have just added the Enthian Knight's longsword to D&D Beyond. That might be a minute. Killian, you gain the same. An Enthian Knight's longsword and a pouch containing 200 gold pieces.
Am I still blind?
Your blindness fades as your vision fills back into the way it was previously. Matilda. So Killian, you also gain the Enthian Knight's longsword, 200 gold pieces. Matilda with a 46. 2 ringlets appear, like interlocked metallic rings forged of this kind of pale, glittering metal. And as you hold them, a thought comes to your mind. You've received the ringlets of the Pale. These platinum ringlets were granted to a select group of Enthian knights who had journeyed to the end of the world and descended into the Pale, only to return with supernatural abilities. They are said to grant protection to the mind-shattering effects of the first of the Veiled Lands. These ringed bracelets have 5 charges and regain 1d4 charges at midnight. When attuned, you have access to the light, but only pure Moonlight cantrip, and the Word of Radiance cantrip. And you gain an additional small bevy of spells.
Ooh.
Nice.
Those are the ringlets of the Pale. I will add those to the collection now. Moving through. Jojo with a 26.
Do I get any money or just the ringlets?
No cash. No cash monies.
Oh, okay.
Jojo with a 26. You also gain the ringlets of the Pale.
Oh.
These thin platinum bracers appear within your hands. When you defeat one of these mid-bosses, there is a small table of items that you can gain, each one potentially having a bit of significance towards any particular vein within the dungeon, within the history of the world itself. Some of these might offer insight into various different things and events and situations within the dungeon, or just offer you a little bit of information about those who had held these items at one point in time. And as you all find this ash within your hands forming into these items, that statue that sits begins to emit a pale moonlight, filling the chamber around you. And as this light sweeps over your bodies, it wraps around corners and begins to fill in like a mist. You all gain a long rest.
Oh.
You are all fully healed. You're basically like your hit dice, where you would have gained half, you are completely refreshed after this fight.
Interesting.
So you all stand now after overcoming this challenge together. Staring forward, you find your wounds close.
Ooh, question. With that long rest, do our tattoos tickle?
Your tattoos feel a faint urge, some kind of a tingling towards new growth as it yearns for further advancement. You have all prepared to level up.
Ooh,
Thanks,
exciting.
Thanks for the healing, guys. I would have definitely be dead without you guys. Sorry for... Actually, I'm not sorry. This is awesome.
I wasn't expecting the additions, but I'm glad I sensed them beforehand. Sorry I couldn't let you know, but things were a little hectic.
I could not pay attention to those two. I had my hands full with the big one.
I was a fucking chicken, and I did not like that. They're very stupid.
Paka seemed to enjoy it, didn't you?
Paka's like standing, he's like just tapping his fingers together and like little tails like swinging back and forth, and he was just like, I want a chicken.
Vincent's gonna like look up in the air. Mo, are you still around? Did you? No, thank you.
Appears before you. Yes, master.
I was just curious if you were still here. So, good.
He becomes visible once more.
Does he
Did
have a little
Paka?
pouch?
Yeah,
He
I was
had-
gonna ask
he
if
get it-
Paka got something.
Oh yeah, let me go ahead and roll a D100 for this guy.
Roll for down.
Ooh, that's brilliant, yo.
I don't know if the imp got anything either. That'd be
That's
interesting.
two more chances at getting those sweet, sweet, delicious high rolls.
Are they better
Paka-
when they're high?
Paka, who knows? Yes, I will absolutely say that outright.
Oh.
The higher rolls, the more,
Correct.
not necessarily better for you, better items in general. Like you might get a staff that you literally can't wield.
Yeah.
Paka got a 74,
Oh.
Oh, yes!
and Mo got a 22, which
Okay.
kind of
Fucking Mo.
you got a,
No. Which is,
Killian
I believe
got
it's just
an
a
8.
longsword.
That's the
Funny-
exact same thing as Vincent.
Hold the
Yeah,
longsword.
you got the same thing as Vincent.
fucking Mo. How dare.
It was
Most-
more funny than
Master
anything.
No, that was fucking fantastic. I love all of this. Play this game. Everyone at home, please. It is the best one. Just the best one of the games. So, 22. I'll start with that. Mo.
Same right number
Same
as
as-
Vincent.
Mo receives 200 gold pieces and a long sword that he's holding up and basically brings him down to the ground as he just scrapes it along and is like, yes, master.
Man,
See,
we
he
are
stuffs the
lousy with
pouch behind his
longswords.
back. So many longswords, guys.
We can figure out what we can do with this.
And Paka got a 74.
Pocket just like ascends. We're like, no.
Farewell.
It's an
I
item. I don't think.
I am the god now. As he begins to hover, and he emits this golden light of godhood, Paka appears. He has a small shard in his hand that seems to be like a fragment of something. Paka has received a starlight fragment.
Wow.
I don't know what this is.
Doesn't I guess none of us gain the properties of these items until we identify them, right?
As you, so in the Enthean Knight's Longsword as well. I did miss that. Let me go ahead and pop in.
Yeah, it's still not showing up on D&D Beyond, so I have no idea.
I can just bring it up straight into your character sheets. But as you hold on to the Enthean Knight's Longsword, a memory or a thought or something akin comes to mind, and you hear, "The hero stands at the marble gates, and we stand before him. What is the right answer?" And then the voice fades.
It's the same thing as your sword, Jojo. It rings out 300 feet. It's a +1 longsword.
Has the same effect.
Do they all say the same thing every single time we touch it?
They are, as you hold on to them, it's the exact same phrase. Okay, it looks like that was added to your character sheet, Vincent. That's good.
Yeah, I finally got it to show up. Maybe I was spelling it incorrectly.
Paka, let me go ahead and check the Starlight Shard. As Paka gains that, he can kind of take a look at a bit of something. The Starlight Fragment. He holds on to it and kind of just begins to focus in on it, and then it spreads out a little bit of a light. But I think Paka, anything that Paka or the or Mo get, kind of they hold on to. As NPCs that are kind of outside of the nature of the party, I will keep those a secret.
Okay.
And then Paka holds on to that for a moment and says, "Does somebody want this?"
Oh, we'll need to know what it does. Can you identify it?
Yeah. Do we want to do that here? I guess we just kind of gained a lot of everything back. Are we still wanting to go back?
Well, the next floor is the 4th floor, and I don't think we're ready for it. Matilda, you said you wanted to make that silver stuff that would make us better for the weather.
Yes.
Stuff that we know the 4th floor is going to throw at us.
My only concern is we'll have to trek back through here. Do we think we can try and find a safe haven near the archway so we can get there later? Easier?
I think so. We understand now that we have to move quickly throughout the city, and we kind of understand the layout a little bit better. And also we know that if we really need to, that house is a safe place if we bar the door with the piano. I have noted all of this, and if we come back soon, I will be able to lead us to the same correct pathway without much.
Well, we'll still need to fight the skeletons and everything
Yes.
along the way.
Yes.
I guess there's just a little bit age. How does the can you explain how the stuff works just so we're all on the same page?
For fast travel you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing, as you were all kind of discussing what to do, you spot a single teardrop pours down from the night, and 2 small gemstones that were inlaid into the heart of these 2 dancers that are now one statue sat on this dais in front of the broken statue of this goddess that is now just even further mangled by Jojo's previous vicious attack. The gemstones hit the ground, ting, 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 and just spread out. You guys also gain 1 uncommon monster core, relatively large, and 2 common monster cores, and
Nice.
a key that falls from the neck of the statue and just kind of hits the ground. You see this faint twine rope that was holding on to that was keeping it around the neck just frays and it turns and rots with age, falling apart. You gain a crescent moon key as well.
Okay.
We'll give that to Paka.
For fast travel, if you guys have found a haven, which as the light pours out and you guys feel this healing wash over you, you do feel an odd sense of calm in this location. You've also felt this odd sense of calm within that home. Though undead were banging at the door nearly all night attempting to get in, you felt like you were safe there. And as you find these two locations, you have found two havens. Within the havens, you can fast travel to this location if you have not finished the floor. You can also fast travel to these locations if you have finished the floor, which just means you have passed through the ash gate. So you guys have currently passed through the ash gate of the inn, of the road that brought you here, and you guys roll a group investigation check.
My thing says I have a bardic inspiration, but I'm pretty sure I used that.
Yeah, it just doesn't go away for some reason.
Totally cool.
Yeah, you used it for damage.
As your guys' passives can be floors on this one, which would bring JoJo up a little bit.
Investigation is a +4, so 14.
And Vincent up a little bit. Okay, so with your guys' from your journeys so far, moving through the ash gate, you ascertained the first floor was the road. The second floor was the inn, passing through the ash gate. And when you went your way back down following Astrid, you have not passed through another ash gate within the city, but you feel like this is a separate floor than the previous. You find yourself on the third floor, the next one being the fourth, as you have spoken with Mo as well to ascertain this. Now, back to fast tracking. If you enter into the dungeon and try and go up floors, or you're in the dungeon and you try to go down floors, so long as you can, and there's nothing blocking your passage one way or the other, then you can just pay time and gold cost in food and items that you may have expended in order to fast travel to a location that you had previously been. Monsters will still be there, and if you have not finished the floor, you cannot travel to the end of the floor. You just have to go to a haven. Even if you see the ash gate 20 feet in front of you, if you have not passed through it, you can fast travel to a haven. It's just a bit of money and a bit of time.
Based on Mo's description before, how close are we to the ash gate from here?
We went the wrong way, didn't we?
Mo says,
it's a big city. There's a lot. That's not right. 1 second. It's a big city. There's a lot of places that you can go to, one way or the other. I have not seen this particular cathedral. I have seen another, one of sunlight. But through the central square, we typically went to the Lord's Manor. But there was the Golden Road, just outside of this cathedral. Following that road leads to the manor itself. I wouldn't say we're very far from it.
There was actually something I wanted to check out on this floor still. There was the building with the owl we have the key for.
That's very far back. And I'm assuming by this point, most of the enemies have respawned, so we'd have to fight our way through everything.
Yeah.
And then archers on the wall.
I guess we can wait till next time.
We also have the Black Flame to go back for in that area. So
Yeah.
We could do both in one attempt, one run.
Yeah.
I think if we can try to get to the fourth gate, we might as well. And then from that point on, leave and prepare.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I also want to go talk back with Lavos. I don't know if you guys feel it, but our tattoos are bothering us again.
Yeah, I can feel it.
I'm surprised you can feel anything. That fight.
I'm feeling great now. I love that. If I could feel like this after every fight, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Well, I don't know. Maybe sometimes you get a bruise and you're like, oh man, I'm proud of that bruise. That was a good fight. And it's just so maybe I wouldn't like this actually. This is a curse.
Do we want to follow the gold road outside, or do we want to wait? How long would it take you to identify some of the stuff, Killian?
I mean, it could take a while.
It's like 11 minutes,
How
I
many
think.
things do we have?
Just the one.
Just the one? Oh, that would take me like 10 minutes tops.
You guys
Okay.
willing to wait around? I'm interested to see
Yeah.
what Paka got.
Sure.
Hey, Matilda, do you know how long we've been in the dungeon so far?
Yes. And then DM.
And then you explain that. You guys are at probably about like maybe just before midnight in your current motions as the moon sweeps over the land. And you are on the 42nd day. You have been in here for actually just past midnight. You will have been in here for 4 days.
Okay.
You're initially told the dungeon you'd be in here for a week. There's no penalty in coming back early. It's literally just like, hey, just checking in, bud.
Mm-hmm.
My best advice is that we wait in here because it's safe until it's time. When all the villagers leave again, I'll know, and then we can go up the road, and we won't have to worry about fighting.
That's like a whole nother day, right? You want to spend
Yes.
a day in here?
Why not? It's safe.
Are we... I know we have that safe feeling on us, Adrian, but do we feel like the statue could... I guess we have no idea if the statue would reform and come back. The fight would reset.
You guys can like chill and
We'd be done before
determine.
that.
Looking at the statue itself, it seems pretty solid. At current, you're not entirely certain whether it would pop back in or not.
Hmm.
Well, I identify over the next 10 minutes the shard in Paka's hands. That's the item we wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the magic finishes in this just constant glow, you gain, or it's, you have like a scanner, right? Over for 10
Essentially,
minutes.
yeah. I'm holding a little pearl and like scanning the object while I hold it.
Yes, when the shard is on your person, you can cause it to shed 20 feet of bright light and additional 20 feet of dim light. This light is considered moonlight. In addition, when you are hit with a weapon attack, you may expend a charge of the mote of starlight. You expend the mote when making an attack or casting a spell that deals radiant or cold damage to deal an additional 1d4 radiant or cold damage for each mote expended. The motes disappear after an hour, or if they are not expended, it has 3 charges and refreshes at midnight. So basically, when you're hit, you burn your reaction, or you burn a charge, and you gain a mote, and then you can use that mote for an additional 1d4 cold or radiant damage.
So when you attack with any attack, you just add an extra 1d4 cold or radiant?
Yes, it burns the mote, or cast a spell that deals a radiant or cold damage.
I'm still confused. I'll double confirm. Does the spell or weapon that you're attacking with have to do cold or radiant, or is it any attack and then it just
Any
adds
attack
that
or
on?
any attack or spell that deals radiant or cold damage, you can cause it to deal an additional 1d4
Okay.
radiant or cold damage. Yeah,
So the spells specifically have to deal radiant or cold, but the attacks
radiant or
do
cold.
not.
Attack or spell.
Hey, Vincent, I think that these ringlets might be better for you. I mean, I could use them. I think that there's some spells in here that you already know. Like there's Disguise Self, which I've seen you do. Invisibility, Light, Moonbeam, and Ward of Radiance. But they use like Strength of Character for their source of spellcasting, which I don't. Yeah.
It just smirk slightly.
So
Jojo, don't put yourself down. You're dear to be around.
I'm super smart, and that's
You are.
that's something about me. But
Yeah.
these
Very smart. Lack presence.
yeah.
You can be quite intimidating when you want to be, but
Oh, yes.
I understand what you're saying.
I think all you guys are pretty smart, based on like the few days we've been in here. I think we pretty much killed it for our first time.
Well, we are kind of the shit, but that's beside the point. I think we came in here a little bit more prepared than normal.
Do you want these ringlets? Because disguise self and invisibility don't really seem up my alley, although they could be useful if we wanted to sneak somewhere, because I'm so shitty at that.
Yeah, I'll have a look. It's nice to add more spells to my repertoire.
I think Moonbeam would be sick for you.
Bianca, can I hold the shard?
Yeah.
He pulls it out of the bag and hands it over to you. It's interesting when you touch it. It feels like hollow glass, like it weighs virtually nothing. It feels as though you were touching light. Like it's a very ephemeral feeling. It's not something you can really quantify. It's strange.
I pause and I wait, and like my eyes kind of like look like I'm trying to list, like I'm looking at someone in my own head to talk to me. I'm like, does anyone want to eat this in particular?
Matilda, do we actually add a character? Do we know what happened to the last one, or the last magic item kind of just disappeared? Right.
Last magic item just kind of disappeared. I don't think it was ever.
Oh no, she did say that
stated.
it was cursed to her out loud.
True, but it's basically like you guys, nobody knows that it was really gone. I don't think it was ever stated.
Yeah. Matilda, whatever happened to that other? Did you get that curse removed on that shard?
Oh, Mitra ate it.
She ate the magic item we found in the shed.
Who's Mitra again?
The people in her head.
Both of them. Or Mitra?
Mm-hmm. And then when I ate it, I found this in a tree. And then I think it was the rod that I got.
Yes.
Is that, yeah. Yeah, and then I
Was that correlated?
Can I try to insight check her? I just want to know if she's lying. Like she could have just sold this and bought that kind of thing.
Insight versus persuasion. Yeah, it seems like she's telling the truth.
I can't tell if you're crazy or not, dear. I figured you might have just sold it and exchanged it for this thing, but you're not lying to me, so.
Mitra told me that she wanted to eat it, and I asked her what would happen, and she's a bit stronger now, but whenever I see these, I always have to double check to make sure that nobody else wants to eat it.
So, in the future, could you double check with us, the party, about consuming magic items for yourself? They could be more useful instead of feeding them to your lovely friends.
I can do that. I wanted to see if they wanted to. I wasn't going to let them eat it. I was curious.
I think
Well-
in this moment you hear an echoing voice in the back of your mind. It just says, "Deliver me this power."
Oh!
Your celestial patron seems to have taken interest.
Hey! Okay. Now, I know we haven't had a lot of time to talk about what's going on up here, and I usually don't like to talk about it because a lot of people usually leave when I do. But for my whole life, there's been two people that have always been in here talking to me, and they've been my friends. Now there's a third person ever since I got my ash bond, and they want me to consume that. I do get good stuff that helps, but we can leave it for now. We don't have to make a choice now. I just wanted to let you know.
So is it like scavenging? Like you give them something that you can't use, and then they give you something you can use?
I think it depends on the item. The one that I gave to Mitra was a Fey shard, and the more things I feed to them, they seem to get more powerful.
I don't know if I should be scared by that, but not really. It's just a form of words to use in this situation since it seems a bit odd.
Sure, like a piggy bank, I'm putting in shards into the bank, and then it collects more as it goes.
Are we guaranteed to know what we'll retrieve from this? Or no?
No, but it's usually really good. This thing, and I show them the rod that I got. It's really, really helpful. It's been very helpful.
What does it do?
Oh, shit. God damn it.
It basically
would
grants you
definitely
additional
know.
arcane power.
Yeah, it makes me hit better.
Is it for you only?
I think it's for warlocks only.
So they give you things that can make you more powerful.
You know, that shard actually goes pretty well with those ringlets. Since
That's what I was thinking.
yeah.
That's okay. We don't have to. I just wanted to let you know that they liked it.
I mean, it's not really that different than as long as you're just claiming it for yourself. We haven't gotten a lot of things, but we've been pretty good at just kind of sharing amongst ourselves. If that's what you want, then it doesn't matter what she does with it afterwards, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to stop her necessarily. I just wanted to know that Matilda wasn't, running a fencing organization in the background, selling all magic items or something.
Embezzling.
That too. If you want it, Matilda, you can have it, but you're going to either have to give Parker something for it or maybe donate to the family house or something in return.
I was going to give Parker a chicken, even without this, but that's perfect.
I don't know if that's an even
I don't
trade.
think that's equivalent, regardless.
I'll take it. He just forgets to
I
jump
can
up and
get
down.
you. The thing is, and he'll point towards that's worth like 100 chickens or more. She gives you one. She's taking an opportunity on you.
I don't think I have the responsibility to take care of that many chickens.
Oh, I was going to make sure that other things were given too, but I figured as much excitement as I would get for that, you also should give something that gives just as much excitement. And I know that a chicken would do that for Paka, but there's other things that we can add to equivalent the value, because I understand that there's emotional value and also material value, and there are different things. So the chicken is for the emotional value that I will receive from this. So thank you very much, Paka. And then we will discuss how to do the material stuff. I think Vincent probably has a better idea, which totally works for me.
If whatever you get or you use is used to aid and protect the party, I'm more lenient on these things. But I don't know, if they give you something that's not going to be useful for that, then we'll have to discuss.
That's okay.
The imp's like, I hope you don't think I'm going to give you my sword or my gold.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to use that sword real well.
I'm going to sell this sword very well, thank you very much.
Vincent
we're lousy with long swords, so don't worry about
Oh, great.
it.
Vincent will
That's
just
fantastic,
turn around
isn't it?
and face Mo. I don't know exactly how you expect to sell that sword in the city. You don't exactly fit in.
I have friends.
Can I insight check that? Yeah.
Roll insight.
Yeah, I was like, Matilda's like, I know about not having friends. I don't know if you do.
Oh, one.
Oof.
Magical secrets can't come fast enough.
Oh, yeah, I believe them. They have friends.
Can I insight just for funsies?
Yeah, I don't think you need to be proficient in insight for this one. Excellent. All of you are just like, shit, wait, he has friends? I have no additional insight into this, whether it's true or lie.
Vincent just looks at him and he's like, anything that is attained within the family stays within the family. You're free to use that gold as you see fit, but the sword's going to stay at the manor. We'll figure out what we need to do with it.
So you want to split the gold selled.
Salad?
If that's what you wish to do, I think I can accept that offer.
He throws the longsword to the ground at Paka's feet and says,
You may hold on to this.
and just lifts himself up into the air. Throws that weight lofty 200 gold pouch in his hands and just kind of attaches it. He uses just the little drawstring as a belt and ties it around his waist.
For an imp, you're a big pushover.
I don't think you know very many imps. We're all big pushovers. But we wait.
That's
We
fair.
are patient.
That's ominous.
Disappears.
I think it's meant to be.
Well, I guess free trade, Jojo. Vincent will hand over his longsword to you. I don't think you need two, but if you feel like switching it up here and there.
Maybe I'll find a way to swing both of them.
Paka says, dual wield, dual wield, dual wield.
Dual wield, dual wield.
Dual wield.
Yeah, I'll trade the ringlets for the sword.
I also think that we should build up the armory back home. So maybe not sell all the swords. If we're going
No, we should keep it something.
Yeah.
I just don't know how valuable having 3 of the same sword in a room is. So
Technically, these swords are different.
well, I meant the fact that I have the same sword that I think Killian has the same sword.
I have the same sword. You have the same sword.
What happens if you take the 2 different swords and like hit them
together? Oh man. Are we experimenting? We'll lead every monster towards us.
I think you should do it.
Maybe right before we leave.
That is a fantastic idea. We'll do it right before we leave.
Well, you already banged your sword before and it didn't attract
I did
anyone,
do that.
so-
Did you tell us about the barrier?
The barrier's still there.
Oh,
The barrier, as far as Vincent was aware when the spell dissipated, that was when he noticed the barrier. There was no visible barrier that you guys could see previously.
yeah, Vincent will let you guys know. Just by the way, I think there's a barrier around the haven. It's probably meant to protect it after you point towards the statue.
Oh, so maybe I could bang them
Killed.
together here and it'd be totally fine.
Do it.
Maybe. Again, we don't know.
Seems risky.
You can
I
do
mean-
it if you want. I'm still
Our
planning.
goal
We
is...
should.
Sorry, what,
go ahead.
Killian?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say yes. Our goal should probably be getting to the archway. I think that's a good leaving off point. I didn't want
okay,
to
so-
spend.
I was just going to say, as you guys prepare to leave then? Prepare to leave the Moonlight Church?
Sure.
I was just gonna ask, after the 1 minute passed with Bladebeak booting back up, did it fully heal from the Haven's magic, or is it still at like 1 HP?
It just says it revives. It doesn't actually say anything about healing. Just says if mending is cast on it, it regains 2d6 hit points. If it has died within the last hour, you can use your smith tools as an action to revive it, provided you're within 5 feet. With all of its hit points restored. Beautiful.
Okay, cool.
Bladebeak powers back up about a portion of the way through your initial casting of your spell that I definitely remember the name of. Identify.
Identify? Oh. I think we can leave now, or we could do what I suggested and wait in here until it is safe to go. We'll know exactly when it is.
Well, if we have Mo scout ahead like we did before, I think we'll manage. We only have a very brief window there anyways, so I don't want to
Okay.
spend any more time in here than need be.
And as long as we stay away from those skin flap things, we should be able to. If we are found out, we should just be able to run past everything. If we think that the archway is close.
It is pretty close as far. I don't know how long the Gold Road is, but in the other direction, it was no more than a 10-minute walk.
Well, dear, Vincent will smirk at the air because he doesn't know where he is. Why don't you lead on?
He becomes visible once more. And he goes to leave the church, and when he hits the threshold of the barrier, he passes through, nothing happens. Makes his way out into the courtyard, and those eyes that you had previously seen that were watching you from the top of the buildings, all gone.
Vincent will tentatively pass through as well.
Yep, nothing happens.
Yeah, follow.
Alrighty. As you guys all head out and into the courtyard of the outside of this Church of Moonlight, looking back, you can just see the ruins of it all. And you spot, there's one thing also that I had neglected to mention. When you had defeated the creature, a name comes to mind.
Oh.
You receive the name of the creature. It was the Enthian Knight Errant, the Moonlight Blade. You recall the name of those that were slain and fallen. And as you make your way south, you find the Golden Road to your east, and you guys begin to trek down it. A solid gold
Stealthily.
brick. Excellent. Everybody roll stealth. A solid gold brick pathway that just begins to kind of like wind. You find yourself in what amounts to a catwalk, a very thin alleyway with long stone and mortar walls.
That was supposed to be secret.
Oh
but
shoot! Right.
Aha!
I'm keeping that.
Ninja
You
stealth.
can't convince me otherwise.
I mean, I'm also keeping that because that's what I rolled. But
JoJo's was stealthy. Yeah, just to confirm, you guys can't keep your previous rolls.
Nice.
And then in the future, we will have to do a full reroll just to keep stealth sneakery. But Matilda and JoJo, okay, excellent. Killian, okay. Vincent, okay. You continue to move downwards. You make your way across. You can hear faint shuffling and movement down small alleyways and pathways that lead from this golden road off in different directions. But following Mo, you make your way through until eventually you find yourself at the entryway to a grand manor. You see 2 floors, brilliant outer grounds, very incredibly well tended. You see statues leading up to fountains in the outer area, hundreds and hundreds of feet across, and the gold road continues from where you are until eventually it hits a large, solid wrought iron gate and continues directly past that gate all the way up to the entrance of the manor, past the manor, and off in the other direction, off into the city to the west, or to the east. As you guys are coming up to the western gate, you see a crescent moon symbol. And as Paka produces the key and like literally holds it up and just like compares it to the door, he's just like,
I don't know what to do here. It seems locked.
he reaches up and grabs the handle and jiggles it, and he's like, it's completely locked.
Jojo just like takes his hand and like with the key and just like shows them how to use the key.
Places it in, turns it, it unlocks, the doorway opens, he's like,
You're some kind of genius.
you did it!
Thanks, buddy.
Puts the
She
key
pats
back in
him
his
on the head.
backpack. He just kind of like happily begins to move forward. You hear the sound just sound of just guard dogs fade away as the doorway slowly opens. And you find yourself once again in the silence of faint wind pouring around you. You see the Lord's Manor just off to the side. On the inside, you can see finery, candelabra, very large central chandelier, and brilliant stained glass windows aside nice clean wood windows on the outer edges. You can hear the sound of a finely decorated party going on the inside. The mumbling and murmuring of people. And you find yourself within these grounds.
Is this where Mo? You said it was around back or to the side of this place?
Now that we're on the inside of the grounds, we want to go around the side to the back.
Didn't
Follow
you say
me.
before that this place was empty whenever you went in?
Oh, it is. Don't let the dungeon fool you. It's just meant to draw you inside.
It only
Within.
seems empty from the outside. I understand.
We went in once. We heard a constant wailing cry from the corner of the room. Like a hollow shell, the outside of the manor holds many wonders, but the inside is just a husk.
Mo continues out and around the other side. You see on the eastern front of this large gated courtyard, there is a similar door to the one you guys had just passed through, a wrought iron gate, but it has a symbol of a blazing sun. And as you pass around the outer edge and move through this just like faint brush, large topiary garden, you make your way until you find a small cobblestone wall leading down a thin pathway. And at the end of this pathway, you see an ash gate. It is kind of this just wooden gate that looks like it has been decorated with roses. Beyond it, you smell just an acrid and dry air. Give me one moment.
So did you say that the door to the manor or a different gate had the blazing sun?
A different gate.
A different
A
gate.
different gate?
The
Okay.
manor grounds.
Yeah, to give another quick synopsis, from like a top down, you see the manor at the back of the grounds. To the west, there's the moon gate you guys had just come through. To the east, the gold road continues and you see a sun gate. And you guys are currently around back of the manor where you see an ash gate, which is the marker for the next floor. So as I check this out here. The road strides past the large gated manor, and as it sits covered in finery, continues down a pathway towards the large ash gate. It stands as the foundation of a broader gate that is unlocked and tied open with hempen rope decorated with roses. Beyond the ash gate leads a small set of stairs brought into the packed dirt of the ground, leads to the base of a large cliffside, and with an open tunnel borne directly through the cliff. Beyond the tunnel, you see a forest of somewhat gnarled and sickly-looking trees, and the closer you get, the more color begins to drain away from the world, until eventually you reach the threshold of the ash gate. And as Mo just kind of moves directly through, you see the color, that bright vivid red on him, flicker and dim into just a pale gray. And as he continues moving forward, he stops and turns around and says,
"Oh yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable here."
We've heard. We don't plan to stay too long. Parker, do you want to get the trick rope ready? We'll
He just-
enter into the other side and we'll head out. If everyone's good with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Just like as we're going through the ash gate, Jojo's curiously going to activate magic awareness.
roll investigation. Roll perception as well, in this instance.
That's a 15.
15. You attempt to see the magic that surrounds you. Ash begins to blow in from the other side of the gate, and you sense on that ash there is that kind of just odd tingle, that strange magic that it just suffuses the dungeon itself. It's like this just faint bit of discomfort. You look around at the grass and you see the very same. You look around at the walls and you see the very same. It's not like a blinding light or anything strange to you that would make it so that this is ineffective. But one thing that you do notice is that there seems to be no magical aura whatsoever coming from the rope that Paka just pulled out of his backpack.
Oh, shit. Have we gone through yet?
The ash gate? No, you're still on one side.
Guys, I don't think that's a trick rope. It's not magic.
Maybe you need to activate it or something.
Or the fake ceiling.
Of course. Trust me,
Didn't
I
give
don't
us.
trust him, but it seems odd that he would have done that. Well,
Does it?
Mo, do you know how to go backwards? Is it just your intention when you head back towards the exit that you go down? That some of our ash gates are the same no matter if you go forward or backwards, like on the second floor or the third.
You can see his eyes are just running back and forth as he's trying to figure out whether or not this breaches the contract you guys made.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see the frustration build in his face as he just says,
"You can go back from here, yes."
I'm sure you wish to get out.
You will all be meat shields. You offered me protection.
Yeah.
Very well.
he turns and looks towards the village. Says,
It would be best if we waited then, traverse through the night, so we do not have to deal with the creatures again.
Back to the
Course.
cathedral.
I guess so. Unfortunately, we can't. Could we step through this gate
Yeah.
to get it and then go back? Because
That was my thought.
yeah,
it would have been the worst if you guys were like, anyway, now that we're here, let's turn around. I don't want to go past. That looks dangerous. You guys pass through the gate and you're trapped. You all find yourself in caves. You don't.
What?
You're fine. You're there. You're fine. As you guys pass through the gate, you find the world itself loses all color. In the distance, you see faint flickering orange embers that seem to fall from the sky. And as soon as you move into this other floor, you see before you this massive cliffside, a large bored hole that's cut directly through to the other side, and that sickly-looking ashen forest. You see just this little bird passes by for a brief moment, flickering with a little bit of an azure tint. The only color you've seen in any direction as you look around. Even yourselves, just gray, devoid of everything. And as you pass back to the other side of the gate, color returns to you once more.
Hold on one sec before we do. What does the ground look like? Does it look like dirt? Does it look like sand?
There was like nice grass and packed dirt, and as you pass through, all loses color. But it's still like physically the same kind of material.
You said the trees were like ash. Were they like falling to ash or?
Roll perception. They're gnarled and just kind of like in odd directions, facing various different locations, like hands, like skeletal hands grasping at the sky. As you glean and glance past and try and look, the forest itself of the gnarled trees is beyond this cliffside, so it's difficult to tell. But you can see kind of just this vast open forest of ashen color.
That looks like a dream I had.
You have many weird dreams.
I do. Probably means nothing.
This floor is supposed to be very hot, right? From what we know.
The weather changes.
It seems to be, like right now when you pass through, you're actually just a little bit chilly. But nothing especially hot looking or feeling.
I try to take enough dirt. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it, but I'm going to try and take enough dirt that I could put my torch bloom in it. See if that does anything.
Okay, yeah, you scoop up quite a bit of dirt. On which side of the gate? On the ashen side or on the side that you're currently on?
On the ashen side.
Okay. When you pull it back over to the other side of the gate, it remains ash colored. It does not convert back to this like dirt.
Awesome.
Ooh.
That's what I wanted. Awesome.
You guys traverse back through the city, taking the same position that you had before. I'll have you go ahead and we'll roll one more stealth check with the ninja icon.
Okay. As we're going through the city, Vincent's going to send a message to Mo and just let him know that when we exit the city, he's to remain with me. I need to have a discussion with him. Business deal of sort.
Understood.
Okay. Moving through the city. That's okay.
Could you take bardic inspiration off of me? It keeps on stopping me every roll.
Sure.
Object.
Can you just confirm, Adrian, that I rolled with disadvantage on Killian?
You did not.
Oh, okay. Then should I just do a straight up new roll?
Just one more d20.
Okay.
Just one more d20 is totally cool.
Okay. This one's then the other one for Killian.
And Matilda, you just rolled a d20.
Yes.
So what is your stealth bonus? Actually, I have it right
0.
here. Never mind. Yeah.
It's 0.
I see. Jojo, you also still have rage on you. I can kill that as well.
I'm still so angry.
Stealth rage.
As you all move through the city streets, you hear an eerie silence, an uncomfortable silence, a planned silence. You seem to have been noticed by what you don't know, but where before there was the faint clamor of motion, there is now nothing. You find yourselves basically halfway through the Golden Road at this point, a couple minutes more travel to get you back to the Moon Cathedral. What do you do?
I'd say we hustle.
We should book it.
Yeah, back to the cathedral.
Vincent's going to try and use minor illusion while they're hustling back to make noises going and like he doesn't know if people are keeping an eye out. Maybe they're just doing it based off of sound. Trying to just deceive what direction they're actually going in.
Go ahead and roll deception.
Can I help? Oh,
Do you have proficiency in deception?
I believe so. Hold on. Give me a minute. Yep.
Okay. How would you aid in this like spellcasting deception?
I could see Vincent doing that, and I can help him because I have minor illusion too.
Okay.
And,
Awesome.
I would assist.
Vincent, go ahead and roll one more d20. You hear, and you look. You do not see anything. but you hear the faint flap of wings, and this just something lands on the ground behind you and just begins to. You see footsteps, large, avian-like, as it's just moving away from you down the Golden Road, and you guys begin to hustle.
Okay,
You make your
so
way
it's
back
blind.
to the cathedral.
Nice.
When you arrive at the cathedral, you find the statue still in the same fashion. Those eyes begin to appear once again on the rooftops, and you hear. And as you enter into the cathedral, eventually the footsteps they all pass away. You guys find rest here until you reach the night, and
I would like to attune to the bracelet during this time.
excellent, absolutely. So you guys, this is another 24 hours. So this will be one. I will pop over, and this is another bit of gold away from you guys.
Let's send Dad another message.
In the meantime, first, we'll just do these calculations quick.
Yeah.
Jojo, 1 gold, 2 silver, 5 copper. Killian, 1 gold, 1 silver. Matilda, 1 gold, 7 silver, 5 copper.
What if I use a ration?
Then it'll just be 7 silver and 5 copper. And then Vincent, 2 gold, 5 silver. That's it. A ration basically just subtracts the cost of food and water from the dungeon for the day. Alrighty.
These ringlets, they're bracelets basically, right?
They are like platinum, just solid metal rings that you place on your wrist. Yeah, they are bracelets.
Okay, there's 2 of them, right? One for each hand?
Yeah.
As Vincent attunes to his bracelets and they go on, they become just a little, they have like strings that come up off of them, and on his 2 fingers, like this finger and this finger on his hand,
Ooh,
rings
pretty.
form, and then there's a chain that attaches in
It
between.
was a
them.
hand chain. Nice.
Sweet. You all prepare for the evening, and with the knowledge of the safety of the village, you manage to traverse safely out. Following the pathway that you had through the... yes,
Good.
absolutely. You can make your way back towards the well, and the village
Good.
is currently empty.
Could we have sent Lavos a message with the sending stones while
Absolutely.
long resting? Yeah, we should just let him know that we're on our way out and that we had a fake trick rope.
All right. Anything else we want to tell him? We're not actually. Do we need to use all the words? We're going to be seeing him soon anyway.
Well, yeah, we'll probably see him. How long do you think it'll take us to get out of here? Just like another
Couple days,
day?
another day or so. We book it. I'll just tell him to have a nice day. I'll tell him Vincent said that.
Yeah.
Hi, Lavos. Vincent says have a nice day. We're on our way out. We were given a fake trick rope. Fuck that guy.
You receive a message back that just says, I'll make sure that... I don't actually know current who to punish for this, but I will keep all of this shit in memory. I will make... And then that's it.
I need to go over how this works. I don't think he understands the magic item very well.
I feel like he knows.
He's a god. Why is he so bad?
Not all gods live up to certain standards, dear.
Apparently.
You guys make your way through the city. You do take note that the city is currently devoid of people. You know that there is a large group of people who will be in the fields, but you do have the secret pathway out in order to avoid them completely.
Mhm.
So you can safely traverse this floor. You guys have the means to do so. However, you have a couple minutes before the villagers end up back in the village. And in that time, you could attempt to check
The
out some
owl door.
areas that are otherwise defended.
The owl door, I think, would be the only thing to really check
well,
out.
Yeah, we could do the black fire, but we'd have to fight.
And then we'd have to
Definitely.
clear the area out anyways.
Yeah.
So let's do the owl door, I think. is
Sure.
the-
You traverse through the city. Let me go ahead and bring the village back up. In the midst of the night, you find just the briefest safety in the faint light that pours out from a torch ignited on the outside of this very militaristic-looking room. I will bring you all here for a moment. I need you all to roll a dexterity check to see how quickly you can hustle through the city, because time is of the essence.
Dexterity, sorry?
Come on, run every
Just
day.
a straight
There we go.
dexterity check.
19.
19. That's good.
Give me a sec, I refreshed. At a bad time.
Vincent
If
also
I'm-
worked out.
If I'm riding on Bladebeak, does Bladebeak make the roll or do I?
Bladebeak.
And he is immune to exhaustion, in case that matters.
I would also say, because what's Bladebeak's movement speed as well? Is it 30 or 40?
It's 40.
40? Okay, I would say you have advantage on this dexterity check. Especially with the exhaustion and the movement speed.
Would I be able to roll survival to try and
Oh, whoops.
Navigate through the
Aid
city
us?
street?
yeah,
Absolutely.
like giving everyone maybe advantage or something?
DM, what was my dex check?
Your dexterity check was A6.
Okay. I also think that Matilda memorizes how the city, she remembers exactly how to get out.
Okay, excellent. You do not know the pathway that you guys are actually, which you do know both doorways to the entryway of this owl room. You have seen it through in both directions.
Does her
So do you guys
background
go to
picture-
the northern door here or the eastern door at the entrance to the city?
The closest one, I guess. It doesn't really matter.
So Matilda, you can have an advantage on this. And Vincent, what was your survival check?
I was waiting to roll because everyone was talking.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, 5. That one.
5? Okay. So the people who currently have advantage are Killian and Matilda.
We're having advantage on investigation?
Just a straight dexterity check to
dex.
hustle through the city.
Okay, so I got a 6 on my first one, so let's try and roll better, Matilda. Do it, I believe in you, little Tilly.
Don't do it as a ninja.
Did you nickname Matilda Tilly?
I
Oh,
sometimes
no.
call her that.
That's a
What have you
That's
done?
a weird old man from our old campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird naked old man.
You guys hustle with just purpose as you find your way towards the entrance of this militaristic-looking room. Popping the owl key into the doorway, you hear this loud clunking sound as the door unlocks and opens. On the inside of the room, you can see that it's all but destroyed, desolate. You can see footsteps all around, and as you all enter in, the room seems empty. As far as you can tell, there's like old weaponry that's just discarded off against the side. The doorway on the other side has been completely blocked by debris. From this side, it seems openable. You can clear the debris. From the other side, it seems like it just would not have moved.
And this is the owl place?
This is the owl door.
Jojo, do your awareness, please.
Oh yeah. Snaps and then like the chaos magic flares from her fingertips and like shocks over to her eyes, and the chaos in her eyes as she sees what magic awaits her.
Within the area. And this one, you need to be able to see the sources, correct?
Yes.
I'm just trying to remember it. Okay. You don't sense anything, save for the magic items on your allies that you can see.
I also open this dresser and look inside.
You move in, you open the dresser, just like some rotting food just hits the ground. A few disgusting like apples and oranges that have just covered in mold, fungus that's grown on the inside of it.
Now looks clear.
I think we should all move in. This undead are gonna come back.
Yeah,
right?
we need to get out of here. Let's go.
We could at least hide in here. I have the capabilities of putting invisibility on someone, and I can disguise myself. I'm sure Matilda can as well now, so we should be able to get out of here pretty decently.
So with your previous successful dexterity check, you guys can manage to get here. You do note the other door is blocked. If you clear the blockage of that door, it would be traversable on the other side. It might take a minute. There's quite a bit there. But with your previous dexterity check, you do have a bit of time. You can safely get back the way that you had previously.
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily need to hide here. You guys are aware that you have a good amount of time.
Okay.
So we feel like this is more of a shortcut than it is that there's anything in the room.
Go ahead and roll investigation as you look around for any form of clues within the room.
Can
Did
I
I
roll?
also?
You may.
Investigation.
If everyone moves in and it's just like, what's up with this room?
I guess there is a door.
Ooh, hello. 23.
Oh, look at us, twinsies.
Yeah, Jojo and Matilda with just the ultimate duo of the two of you.
I imagine them go in, synchronized head turns.
Yes, yes, yes.
Scan. There is a false door. A false wall on the back in a similar fashion to the other ones. You kind of just like rattle at the wall, find the hollow bit, move it out of the way. There's nothing in this room, but you do spot that the ground itself, the dust that has settled around has been disturbed. It seems as though two creatures were previously hiding in this room and are not at current. As you look out and about, you spot a faint little crack. And Matilda, as you arrive at the side of the crack, you see beyond the wall through a small hole, there is a discarded doll that is hidden on the other side of this wall, just beyond the trees. I can actually just go ahead and give you vision of this for a moment.
Could Vincent asks Mo if he can shrink down to a spider and get in there and open the door from the other side?
So, is it cursed?
Spider goes through the hole.
100% cursed.
Spider goes through the hole, digs down, reaches forward, and just like arrives at the doll.
No, I didn't say touch the doll. I said to open the door from the other side. Is there a lock? Latch?
Door? You
Isn't
mean
there a
this one?
door here?
So there's a northern door that you guys just came through, and then there's an eastern door here. This is just a little crack in the wall that Matilda's able to see through. But the spider crawls through the hole and just arrives at the doll but hasn't touched it.
Do you want
Is
me
it
to grab
cursed?
it?
Do you want him to grab it and fly it over to us?
Can you tell if it's bad? Like, do you have some, like, I don't know, hinky magic sense? Like, this one?
I don't just know curses everywhere. Not some kind of curse detector. That's a good idea. Someone should make that.
Yeah. Okay, well, pick it up and bring it over. Or I don't know, do you have mage
I
hand?
don't take orders from you.
Oh, Vincent! Tell them to do what I want them to do. Please.
Indulge Matilda for, 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, if
darling.
it is cursed, we shouldn't put him in harm's way unnecessarily. I have mage hand. I can try to pull it in.
Okay, do that then.
But there's a wall between you.
I look at Bladebeak. Get rid of the wall.
Look, I don't know if we have time for
that'll
this,
take
people.
time.
Oh, it's not like a wooden wall?
No, stone wall.
I believe it's outside, though. It's beside a tree. So if you can get your mage hand out there and then bring it up above a wall, bring it over.
There's an idea. Can I do
As
that?
the mage hand appears, which I have a thing for, so I want to use it because it's fun. Your mage hand appears on the other side of the wall and kind of hovers in place for a moment, scoops the doll up, and just brings it around to the outside toward the front of the area. Kind of has it just in hand and hovers over the trees and is now in the main thoroughfare.
Okay, well, now we've got our toys. Let's skedoodle.
Maybe not. Don't touch it until I can magic sense it.
Yeah. Let's see. How long will mage hand last? It lasts 1 minute.
An hour, I believe. It's a minute? Cool.
You can keep casting it, though.
Yeah, it's a cantrip. It lasts
Or
indefinitely
can you
practically.
place it in our bag?
Can I
without
place it
anything?
right into the bag that is like Paka's pack?
Oh, you
So
brought
that
it
it's not-
over into the back alley. I see.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah. Paka just kind of like brings himself over and hovers off to the side, and the hand just kind of like jams it into one of the little side pouches.
Was that with
it
the
is
little
a-
mousetrap?
It is a small headless doll.
Oh!
You hear the mousetrap, the mage hand dissipates, and then just
Okay.
resummons.
Just try to remember, Paka. Don't reach in and grab that if you can help it.
Okay, I have 100% control over everything in my bag. I am the bag master. Don't call me. I'll rethink the title. I'll rethink the title.
Paga, you're starting to sound like Mo. Maybe you two have been spending too much time together.
I like Momo's fun.
Mo's like, "Oh, thank you." That's Mo's voice now. As you all prepare, I will just do one quick synopsis here. The door on the right side near Jojo's blocked. It might take some time, but you could clear it, depending on an athletics check. Otherwise, if you guys flee, there is no current threat. You can get out safely.
Yeah, please.
All right.
Hopefully.
You guys make your way back through the city, across the bridge and to the other side, where you enter into the well and into the water, the sluice gates, and the underground waterways below this village, and out the outer wall. Through the farm, you sneak past as you see the villagers running off, and Astrid passes right by you guys and into
Again.
the waterway.
Okay. That's good to know. She does reset.
And as you guys pass by Astrid onto the main road and back down the wayside road, I'll have you guys roll a D100 for me.
Four.
Okay, now you guys may choose one of these 4 D100s.
Oh, 4, please.
You want the 4?
I kind of want the 84.
That's 2. We got to split.
Yeah, come on.
I guess I'll choose mine.
Nice, Matilda.
84. Such contemplation.
You basically, whatever one you choose, if it's not yours, if you choose any of the other ones, that's the one we go with.
I want 17.
17?
That's not the one we got.
Oh yeah, never mind. There's all those numbers.
84.
Excellent. Now I'm going to roll a D4 to determine which one.
No, Killian and
Oh, Killian chose.
Vincent both wanted 84.
Oh,
We have the
okay.
most votes.
Excellent. Never mind. Matilda, unnecessary. With an 84, as you guys are traversing down, you actually
What the
managed
hell?
to. You managed to trigger. Sorry about that. There was no tiebreaker needed, is what I meant. You're a wonderful individual, and you matter. There is, as you actually trigger the carriage again, you hear the carriage begin to pour down from behind you as it begins to make its way through the city streets. Do you guys interact with the carriage at all, or just head down?
Ignore it?
No,
I just-
we're all going to ignore it.
Like, yeah, on Bladebeak, like I cover my hands. I say, "Bladebeak,
Actually-
look away."
Vincent will send a message. He'll look away and be like, you do get a decent item from them. The string's pretty nice.
You want to fight again? I mean, I'm good.
You can do it
fight.
on the way back, I guess. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Just ignoring completely, the carriage passes directly through you guys from behind. You see the inside of the horses. You see it's just like a cross section of biology pass through your eyes. You see the interior of the wood, and then you spot the noble. This just very thin, very lithe individual, pencil thin mustache. As he's sitting back, frustratedly kind of tapping one finger against the side. He is not a giant toad. In fact, this is the noble from the Wayside Inn. The one who was previously pining over the war map. And as you pass by, you spot Astrid sitting with a look of just resentment and just tired, world-weary, with her hands over her stomach, sitting back, looking down towards the ground as the carriage passes you all by and continues down the road before disappearing in the distance.
Hands on her stomach, yeah?
Yes.
Like over her lap, you mean? Or
On her stomach.
oh, like,
She pregnant?
As you all continue down the way, there is 6 gold pieces each that it will cost you during this time and travel in order to make it all the way down. You can negate this completely via rations if you have 6 or more.
I have 4 rations. So how
Okay.
much gold do I need?
Just 2.
Okay.
I only have 1 ration.
Okay. So if you burn that one, it's 5.
I'm gonna look at my rations and burn.
Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. I was counting the wrong one. That's only 3. 3 total.
If I eat a ration, it's 3 gold.
If you eat it, so the time and travel it takes to get from the fields, the farm fields that you guys were in, to the entrance of the dungeon will only take 3 gold total. And
Which will be 3
13
rations.
hours of travel.
yeah, 3 gold's fine. Minus that.
It is 13 hours of travel. Do you guys want to attempt to push through for exhaustion, or do you want to rest at the wayside?
Let's push.
We could,
I think we push.
yeah.
Because the wayside will only cost us more money if we fail our hunger checks.
So that will
That's
be
true.
3 rounds of constitution checks, but I will just bring it down to 1 at DC 13.
Oh. Well, I got a nat.
Oh, why am I so bad at con checks?
Would Killian have advantage on this since she's mounted? Or no?
No, mounts don't give you. Bladebeak is currently immune to exhaustion.
Mhm.
Traveling on a horse, the weathering of travel still affects mounted creatures. So
Your
this
butt
would
still
be a
gets
normal.
sore.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a con-based character. Why do I keep on failing con saves?
Jojo
Luck
and
of the
Killian,
dragon.
you have 1 level of exhaustion. Matilda, you've succeeded. You're good. Vincent, you succeeded. You're good. Jojo and Killian, I need 1 more con check. Okay, Killian, you succeed. You're good now. Jojo, you're good. Both of you have a single level of exhaustion, and you find your way to the entrance. You find the ash gate. You find the staircase leading upwards towards the entrance. And as you ascend the staircase and leave the dungeon itself, you begin to hear the din of the interface office as everything begins to bear down upon you. You can hear people laughing and the just audible sound of armor kind of clattering around. You hear people just like, I got to the 14th floor the other day. What do you think about that? And someone's just like, very nice, excellent, yes. Well, fuck you. And you can tell that they didn't have any argument back against that as everyone is continually just moving in and out. The doorways are opening and just the sound of revelry begins to pour through your senses. And as you ascend the steps, you don't know when it was. You don't know how it was. It's just a strange situation. But you end up descending as you arrive back at the interface office. You've seen this before when you entered in. Divers returning from their dives into the dungeon, descending stairs. And when you entered into the dungeon, you descended. There does not seem to be any form of ascent here. You arrive back in the interface office, and you see various different people kind of all
Mo's
going about their
invisible,
day.
Right?
Mo is currently invisible.
Okay.
And Paka's just kind of carrying all of this loot. I gotta roll those con saves for Paka. Natural 20 immediately. He's totally good. And Mo, 1 level of exhaustion. 2 levels of exhaustion.
No, we only rolled 1 roll.
No, you
Oh.
roll 1 roll. If you succeed, you're done.
Succeed.
But if you failed, you keep rolling. He's 3 levels of exhaustion. As basically he refused to just let go of that gold and has been holding on to it, and slowly it's like holding a 5-pound weight outstretched. You're like, this is fine, I can do this for days. And then you have to do it for days, and he's just dragging along the ground, invisible.
If I noticed that before we went down into the interface, I would have told him to turn into like a spider and hang it on, my shoulder or something, and I'll hold his
Done.
gold.
Done. The command is issued, and you have a spider that's like
Just hide in my clip or something.
just drags itself in with 2 of the legs. The rest are just exhausted. And Mo is now perfectly hidden. As you re-arrive at the interface office, you see Sylvia, who's just like, right, no, running through the room until eventually she makes it up to you and just kind of screeches to a halt, dust behind her, and she's,
I always like a grand entrance, but that was unnecessary.
Hey.
I'm so happy you're all alive. I'm so happy you're all alive.
Oh, really?
How is- No. Well, yes. Well, no, almost. You said a week, and 3 days. I was like, okay. I considered sending in someone to see you, but then they said no. There was 7 days, not 3. But you're here now. And she dives
Yes,
forward
we
and
are.
begins to check you guys out.
Vincent, can you send message to her?
I lean down and I whisper, I'm like, what do you mean? Like privately?
I just want to make sure this isn't some weird dungeon trick.
I see, dear. Vincent will entertain Killian and send a message to Sylvia. Do I hear the tone?
You do not.
Okay.
You have
He just
safely
says,
arrived.
Have you been, darling?
Oh, it's spicy, isn't it? I've been well. Thank you.
He'll lean down to Killian. She's quite well. Don't worry, dear.
As soon as Killian gets affirmation from Vincent, she just slides right off of Bladebeak and gives Sylvia a big hug.
Oh, hello there. Gives you a hug as well. You're basically same height.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you all happy and alive, and you're still just as colorful as when you left.
Yes, we are.
Also,
Actually
you
wasn't
haven't.
too bad in there.
You're not made of water, are you? Any of you? She looks you over. Excellent. Great.
No. Is that a side effect we should be worried about here?
No, maybe not. Who knows?
He knows
It's a
that.
full mystery. How far did you
Killian
get? How's it going?
Is still hugging her. Killian hasn't let go.
Still just maintaining this constant.
Maybe could we talk in private?
Absolutely. Here, I'll put on a pot of tea. Come on, let's head off into my little side over here, and
Do you have
can
any
tell me all
coffee,
about
dear?
everything.
Of course. I have a little bit of an item I had made, so I always have coffee on hand. Come on, follow me. She begins to make her way over into her little interface keeper room, and Killian kind of just moving alongside with her. She just shuffles around.
Killian lets her go once she needs to move. Killian's got a bunch of tears kind of streaming down her face.
She grasps onto your hand and kind of doesn't let you escape from the embrace, but just holds you by the hand,
Drags you.
carrying you straight through to the interface room. Paka is holding onto all this loot, brings it in, and is like,
Do you want me to go sell this stuff? I've done this so many times, I know exactly what to do.
The shards and everything for sure. Keep the magic items for now. We'll figure out what we're gonna do with them later.
he's like,
Gotcha.
Also, Paka, can you refuel on the 3 or 4 flasks that we use of oil?
Yeah.
he just begins to head over towards the
Wait!
front.
I waited.
Don't go buy chicken until we can go together. I want to go with you to get the chicken.
Oh, that's not something you do by yourself.
Very true. Okay, perfect.
He just turns and just still
Buy a chicken by yourself.
and he makes his way over towards the front, and then literally just stands in line. And as you guys make your way to the office room with Sylvia, he just once again is just every now and then just bursts into laughter, and everyone just looks back to be like, what the fuck? The doorway closes and you find yourself within the interface room as Sylvia looks onwards towards all of you and just begins to
I'm very proud of you.
I don't understand why everyone's always so mothering towards this. Of course we will come back to you. There's no other option.
this is my job, and also I care. Genuinely, but it's my job to care about you, but I didn't want that to detract away from the fact that I actually care about you. I shouldn't have led with that, but I'm going to end with I care. That's why. It can be very dangerous in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Do you care because of who we are as people, or because it does good things for your career because we're a new family and you're in charge of us?
My love, that's a fine question.
Can I insight check her?
Yeah, do I
You
believe
may.
Seems
her?
to be flattering slightly.
I'm insighting her.
Oh,
It is
he's having some
A
rough
little off today.
Oh no, Matilda can't.
ruffles all around.
I still rolled an 8 with a 1.
No additional insight.
Mm.
As she sits down and requests that you regale her with your tales of the dungeon.
There's something actually I wanted to bring up. There was this guy that we met who said that he had met with our god and that he had become a guide for us for this trip. And he showed us the ash pond and we inspected it and everything. And this is a guy that we had done the water muppet job for. But it wasn't him. It was I don't know, it looked exactly like him and the ash pond seemed right, but it wasn't him. And then he set off a trap at the Wayside Inn to try and kill us and gave us a fake trick rope. Do anything about that?
I don't. I'm going to set up anything I can to figure out what's going on. First off, offering to be a guide, that alone, those words, rather illegal within the dungeon. So I'm glad that you told me this. That makes it quite a bit more escalatable, right? Because that's perjury of the rules of the dungeon. So excellent. I can exercise my ultimate rights against this individual for
We
attempting
don't know
to damage my
who
family.
they are, but we can give you a time frame. I'll look to Matilda of when he would have gone in and out roughly.
Yes, he didn't didn't help very much, so I don't know how much of a guide he was. They were lying. And I don't know if the information they said was helpful. It looked like it was, but I don't know if it was withholding information to be just helpful enough, or whether it was giving us bad information. I don't know.
You see she's like furious. And then she sits back and for a brief moment she's like, okay, Sylvia. Center. I'll slaughter him. And then she gives you this one smile and begins to take in all of the information that you guys have on this individual. She takes in the time frames, the when they showed up, just standing outside. She's like, we have a bit of information as well on I don't know where the iris was at the time, but we can see whether or not that's something that they would have noticed on the outside.
He argued with someone. Yeah.
Who was it? Do you have a description?
Matilda rattles.
You give the exact description. There was a woman who also works at the interface. At the very least, she was wearing the clothing of the interface, and a small halfling man. And they were arguing for quite some time. You give her that information as well, and she says, I'm going to get right on this.
I really think...
Oh, go ahead, Matilda. My question's not related to this.
I was going to say, I really think that you need to revamp your policies and your security protocols, because we've only been here once, and we've already been fucked over multiple times. So it might have been working when there was old families and they have old ties, but we're new, so I think some things need to be revamped. Anyway, Vincent, you had a question.
I'll just wait for Sylvia to reply to that.
She says, I don't deign to be able to tell the gods how to run this. It seems to be that this is their intent. Some portion of this challenge relies on being able to do whatever you can to reach the top of the dungeon. We do deal with the families of evil gods, after all. There's much we can and much we cannot do, but as soon as this overlaps with someone breaking the rules of the dungeon, I can bring hellfire down upon them.
That cues my question. I was curious. There's obviously things we don't all know that's going on within the dungeon. What can and can we not tell you?
Me, I am your dungeon keeper. You can glean me any information you may have gained, and I can, in complete secrecy, of course, discuss with you just about anything at all.
So if you've had other dungeon dwellers, you kind of already know most of the stuff. You just put on a show to make it seem like you're excited about it.
I haven't really had too many families come my way. You're not my first, but the ones that have stuck the longest.
The one that's stuck the longest we've been with. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well,
we haven't been together a very long time.
I don't blame you for the laughter. But
so far, great job.
Thank you.
I am curious why they.
If you would sign this survey,
I'll leave a review.
If all of them left before literally anything happened, I didn't even know it was an option we could change. Interface option. Like, we could find new ones.
Of course you can, if you want to. Then she just begins to, circle her finger around on the desk. Would you like some coffee?
How long have you been working here?
It's a little over a year.
Why does no one want to stay with you? Is there a list of complaints?
She looks around at the group. Tiefling, half-orc, Paka, Killian, right, Lizalden, and Goblin, and says, I align myself with those who are less popular within the city.
Oh, okay.
I also lead a little bit of a group in my free time that people don't really tend to be a fan of.
What group
is that? Insight check that?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Does it feel more just odd, or is it more criminal?
It was the Guzzlers, right?
Oh.
Hold on. I want to...
22.
Gets together.
Oh my god, Matilda!
And plays a role-playing game.
People seem to think it's satanic, but I don't even know what that word means because the word Satan does not exist within this realm.
Luciferian.
Ooh, that's
Also,
that's a neat word.
I heard
the-
it called that recently, and I was like, sick.
I don't. Just a reminder, Adrian, that the end of the episode's gonna wrap up soon.
I'm aware. As she ushers in towards you guys, the nature of her group, which I was trying to scroll and find here. She says, well, we meet in Ilmater's district rather often, at the Windward Call Tavern. We are the Windward, but we...
Would I have known this tavern in Ilmater's district?
Roll history. But she says, we're somewhat of a group that vies for the rights of the monstrous. 8. You are unaware. I've never heard of the tavern nor the group.
Would Killian have heard of the group?
You can roll history with advantage. I do think you spent a majority of your life pretty focused on your exploits.
Yeah.
But you also have your ear to the ground. You absolutely would have heard of this group. The group is responsible for a lot of just outreach, kind of social group actions, but also they have outright formed a very small militia within the last little while that is in a form of competition with the Rift Hunters, who are like a very large militia who are saying that we must destroy the rifts and the monsters that come from it. And from that comes a lot of prejudice towards the monstrous races, and there's a big difference between the two.
No, I didn't know the Rift Hunters came with a lot of prejudice to the monstrous races.
There's just people, right? Like, the Rift Hunters themselves don't preach that kind of thing, but there's a lot of assholes within the group who joined because they were like, let's take down the monsters that we can. And it's just bad propaganda. But as you speak with Sylvia and you guys enjoy this very fine cup of coffee, this consistent, mellow aroma of this fine
Vincent just
cup of bean.
sits down, takes his first sip, and you just see he's not even trying to hide anything. Visual pleasure wash over him.
Here.
He just cries. He's like, yes.
No, he's not crying. It's just kind of like damn satisfaction.
She tops you off from a small flask, and it's just like, just tell me when, and the coffee just pours endlessly. And as you all sit, Paka enters in, it's just like a massive pile of gold. And it's
this is pretty much what we got. It seems like there's a couple of gold here.
and placed it down on the table. And as
Glancing it over, how much is it?
As everyone sits down and prepares, you are looking at roughly 1,750 gold pieces.
What did he all sell?
You
The
had
cores we got.
You had 40 gold pieces, you had 9 trash items, 6 mundane goods, you had 24 common monster cores from just the bevy of monsters that you slew, and 2 uncommon. But we will divvy that all up next time. Actually, not next time. Right now, just not on camera. Thank you all for showing up and watching this. This is a great episode, everyone. Super great. Play this game. All of you.
We killed the boss.
No, you stop right now. Play Dungeons & Dragons. Till next time. Thank you for showing up at the Dragon Leaf. And bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.